Hey guys, welcome back. We're proud to have a new sponsor, Stephanie Aragon at Stephanie Aragon Real Estate Group, affiliated with Reality One Group. Welcome. You're listening to the 27th Hour with Junior
and Dre Rock.
Get ready, strap in, and hang on. Okay, we're on the right track. So you good? You guys find the Welcome back to the show. What's up, Big Daddy?
No, just living my life, trying to make it day to day.
Just making it happen.
Without fucking too much shit up.
How about snow today?
Yeah, fuck that.
How about like 72 degrees the day before?
Yes.
What was this all about? What's going on?
Dude, that shit pisses me off because
That was so weird.
It teases me, and I knew the storm was coming, and so I was soaking up the nice weather, nice-ish. I mean, for me, nice weather is 100 degrees. And
Arizona, St. George.
Yep. That's nice weather for me. So, but I was willing to take the nice weather we had,
Yeah.
and I knew that storm was coming. So it was like that impending doom, and then it shit on us today.
And there it come.
Yeah, there it was.
Welcome to Utah.
Yeah, fuck. You know,
Colorado does that pretty gnarly too, they say. I don't know.
You know, I've been in Utah I've lived in Utah for 38, almost 39 years, which equals my whole life.
Yeah.
And I've moved out just a few times, but this is home. And everybody's like, oh, you'll get used to this weather. I'm like, bullshit. In 39 years, I hate it worse every year.
You don't get hot.
No, like this last summer we had, it was abnormally warm.
Yeah.
For an abnormally amount of time. I loved it. I fucking loved it.
God.
Dude, everybody around
Twisted, bro.
Everybody around me bitches about it, but
You're not a normal human.
No, and my wife, she likes the heat too. But then every time I'm like, oh, I love this heat. She's always telling people, she's like, oh, he says that now. Like, but at home he doesn't say that. And that's bullshit. Like, no.
You got like 3 air conditioners at your house and shit.
No, dude, this is a funny thing. And everybody gets
You still got a swamp cooler. I'm leaving the podcast right now.
Well, I built my house 5 years ago. If they put a swamp cooler in my house. No, so like it's in our house in the summertime, and I have photos of my thermostat to prove it.
Okay.
My house gets 85, 86.
Whoa.
Yeah, and there's 2 reasons for it. I'm cheap, and I love the heat.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
85
Yeah,
degrees?
we'll let it get up to 85. Now, when it comes to sleeping, I do need it a little cooler. I'm a little more normal that way. But
What the fuck is your thermostat at?
Bro,
that's fucking...
Yeah, wifey in the winter still has an AC on. Like, she has it 62.
Oh, no.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
And see, that's a little cold to me.
That's freezing to me.
What happened to 70? Where's my 70 boys at?
No, I wouldn't. 70's cold, dude. I can't do 70.
I like 70. 70's comfortable.
No, I've always said this. If I could make a deal with whoever...
The devil, because he's hot.
Yes, whatever. Whoever decides our weather on this earth, depending on your beliefs, if I could make a deal with them, I would say if they will do away with wintertime, I will do away with 100 degrees, but it'd have to be somewhere in the 80-degree range. That'd be my compromise.
80 degrees.
I'd have to have that, dude.
All the time, 80?
Dude,
fuck you.
Here's another crazy thing. Like, I'll get in a car in the middle of July. Like, I'll get my car that's been outside all day, and I will shut the door, and I won't start it for 60 seconds, and I will just absorb that 130 degrees in that car. I'll just absorb it.
You're a fucking reptile.
And I fucking love
Or wait.
I love it.
Opposite of reptile. Reptiles are cold all the time, right? They got to have extra.
Your wife's the same way then?
You hold it, and then you got it all day.
Yeah. She likes the heat.
Fuck that, man.
She does like the heat, but she'll complain about it a little bit more than I do. But no, I love it. I like you'll never ever.
Why are you up here? Why don't you go?
I just got fucked. I mean, I didn't get fucked. I was obviously.
Let's talk about your story.
Okay, so I was born in Farmington. I've moved out a few times, like teenagers. Well, not teenagers, but young adults do.
Yeah.
And then I kind of found my way back home. Well, my wife and I both like the heat. We like the St. George area. So, in like July of 2016, we knew we were going to build a house, and so we thought, well. And I've been working on her. We've been married 13 years. I've been working like that whole time. Like, let's go to St. George. Let's go to St. George. And she was fighting it. And I says, let's make a deal. Let's look for lots up here and in St. George. Wherever we find a lot that we like.
That's where we're going.
First, That's the one. Let's let that be our deciding factor. So we went down to St. George, and we went over to Hurricane right next to Sand Hollow, and there's a subdivision. And we found a lot. And this was 6 years ago, and it wasn't expensive then.
Yeah.
And so we found a nice lot, and I thought, well, we both liked it. We're like, sweet. Let's find a realtor. Let's talk to the builder. Let's get this shit show on the road.
Yeah.
So we were ready to do it. And I was pumped because I'm like, finally,
get the heat.
We've done this. Well, last minute, my wife was like, well, I got thinking about it. And my parents live in Farmington. Her parents live in Kaysville. And she's like, and we've got 3 kids. And so she says, well, I don't want to be that far from grandparents. Like, and I was like, dude, so close. I was so close. And I was like, dude, it's just 4 hours. Like, it's close. It's close. I mean, it's not like we're going to the East Coast. I'm like, you don't need to get on a plane. You can even, dude, I've driven to St. George for the day and driven home.
No.
Yeah.
No. Everything about you is weird, Brett.
Oh, yeah. Well, see.
That is not normal.
No, it's not normal. But like with me being a filmmaker.
85 degrees, drive to St. George for the day and back. You're fucking psycho.
Oh, yeah. So, I'll be doing a project, and I'll film it in St. George.
Okay.
And then, like, on a trip that we're down there. And then I'll get home, I'll be cutting it up, and I'll be like, shit, I need a clip. I need something I don't have. So I drive down there, and I'll get it.
To St. George?
Yeah. I've only done it once.
It's like fucking...
It's four
almost 5 hours.
I know that feeling though, right? Where
you do that? Can you do that?
I would. I think
man.
You know what, Junior? I think you would as well. And
I'm not feeling it.
Let me put it in context. So like, he's talking in a creative standpoint. He's not talking about just going for the weather.
You're on a mission.
He's on a mission. There was a missing piece.
I feel that.
To his vision, right?
I feel that.
And I can definitely relate to that.
So would you do it otherwise? Just get up and go to fucking for no reason.
I would have went to probably
So I'm
Magna.
going to the driving thing.
Yeah.
To driving. So I relate to this whole thing in a driving thing. I've drove coast to coast. I've 13 years. That's all I did is travel. So I hate driving. I fucking hate it now because that's all I've done. So that's where I went with it.
Yeah. See, I mean,
but if you're on a mission, damn.
And I'm on a mission, and yes, I could get onto these stock footage websites, but they don't ever have what I need. If I've got it in my head, like if I'm thinking, like if I'm at Snow Canyon, this is actually the story. At the Snow Canyon, I missed something. I needed to go back down. Damn. And so while I was there, I got what I needed. And then while I'm here for a couple of hours, I'm shooting more B-roll because I might need it for my next project. And I just have a hard drive filled with B-roll of certain areas. So yeah, I mean, and it's an excuse for me to go down to one of my favorite places ever is down southern Utah. So yeah, I do that shit.
Are you ever going to move there?
Yes, one day.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's going to happen.
We can do... Okay, we got to keep going through the story because you got all kinds of cool stuff there.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about the coffee shop, but we'll get there.
We'll get there, yeah.
Because that can go there, can it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's part of my crazy...
That thing's cool. I can't wait to go there.
That's part of my crazy fucking life.
So you decided not to go to Hurricane, so you're just staying up here with parents.
Right, yeah. So my parents are in their 70s. Brittany's parents they're younger. They all had kids a little bit younger. My parents had kids older. So my parents are pretty close to Brittany's grandparents' age. And me and Brittany are 3 weeks apart. So, like, we skipped a generation just because we all waited. So my side of the family waited so long to have kids.
Gotcha.
Hers did not. So her parents, I mean, hopefully will be here for many years to come.
Yeah.
But, and mine, I hope will too. They're doing good. But, I mean, they're getting up there in age. So.
Yeah, they're still here, though?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they live in Farmington. They live in the same house I was brought home to when I was born. That's all.
How old is the house? Is it old as hell?
Yeah,
dude, Farmington's old as fuck.
So I was born in 83. My dad built that house in 82.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's not like one of the 1,800 homes there it's full of really, really old homes.
No. But my parents, this is kind of what's strange about my childhood. I had an excellent childhood, but I took this redneck identity. And maybe redneck's not the term. I'd say it's probably more like white trash. Like, okay. I gravitated towards like us hillbillies. We were the guys in the parking lot of the school with big trucks that are loud and shitty and just obnoxious.
Totally.
Shotguns in the rack before, that became an issue at schools. Like, that was our crowd.
Yeah.
My mother is extremely like proper. Her house is spotless. They've remodeled that house, dude. 5 times maybe.
Really?
Like it's constantly up to date. Like it's very, she's meticulous. She has a housekeeper that she cleans the house for the housekeeper to come.
Really?
My mother she wants to have it nice and tidy for the housekeeper,
Yeah.
which we've all laughed and teased her about because we're like, that's their job.
Right. You hired that.
You've hired that. So that is my mom. And so she's very meticulous. Well, then I had friends who were rednecks, and I went that way for a while, and it was a great time. But so I don't remember where I was even going.
So you're like you're high school. That's where I thought you were. You were kind of in the high school area. You were saying, that you didn't go down there. You moved to Farmington. Your mom and dad are still in Farmington.
Oh, sure, right. Yeah, so they're not going anywhere. They've accepted that's the house we're going to be till they die. And while I agree with Brittany in keeping us up here for the kids, I also like the school thought of we can't live our lives based on other people.
Right.
There's 5 of us in my family. It's us 5 that need to make these decisions. But I can't say she's wrong because my kids have an excellent relationship with their grandparents. And
they get friends in school. They get all grounded and rooted. And,
right. And it would be hard on them to not see grandma and grandpa. But I've lived here. Everybody's always asking me, why don't you move? And I'm like, dude, I'd do it in a second. But
you got to play the game.
It's not about me. It's about my family. So, and and had we have not built, because when we built our house, like months later, the market's done what it's done now, and it just skyrocketed. So we have, by comparison to my buddies that are building houses right now, I basically got mine for free by comparison. So
stupid.
Yeah, and I finished my basement myself, and so we have a shitload of equity, which is kind of good to know.
You got it in the chamber.
Yeah, it's like my wife and I finished our basement completely ourselves with the exception of mud and tape that I refused to do, and carpet because who knows how to lay carpet?
Carpet's tricky.
Carpet's tricky, and I'm not going to do that. So those are the only 2 things we hired out.
Yeah.
And we put a lot of custom stuff in it. Anyway,
you did all everything?
I did everything, dude.
Fucking stud.
Yeah, it was like building a house minus shingles and concrete.
What was under? There was nothing down there. Just bare
walls.
Framed it up and shit.
Yep. And I had to frame it, dude. It was kind of funny too because when I went down there to start framing it, I didn't want to do it because I don't love doing that stuff, and so I didn't want to do it, but I was like, I got to do it. Like that was the deal.
It's weird you kind of get nervous that you're going to build something. I do, right? This may not work there. It's hard. Is that where do you do the same thing? Like,
yeah.
It's hard to see it.
Right.
Kind of how the rooms lay out and shit.
Right. And see, my dad for 30 years owned a construction company.
Yeah.
They did commercial. They didn't do homes, but he knew enough to be like, hey, this is kind of the way that maybe you should lay it out. This is some ideas. He helped me do some of it. Like he helped me do 1 bedroom. And I was like, okay, I think I got the hang of this. Well, then I went downstairs one night and I didn't really want to work on it, but I was like, I got to start framing these walls, like the exterior walls up against the foundation. Mm-hmm. And so I started drinking beer, and I like high gravity beer. So 9% beer, you 2 or 3 of those in, you're feeling no pain, and
framing gets a little wonky,
and measuring tapes don't make quite as much sense.
16-inch fucking centers.
Yeah, it didn't
start eyeballing shit.
Stand back and like, that's about right.
Yeah, and I'm framing a section.
Fucking nail guns. I can hear this coming to a problem.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I had a 16 nail gun. I measured, and it was a window. It was a wall with a window in it. So you have your jacks, and you have, you've got to do this right with head, So I'm like, okay. And I'm hammered fucking drunk. I was down there by myself.
That cracks me up.
My family was upstairs. I was just down there. I had my AirPods in, and I'm just fucking drunk. And so I'm like, I can do this. I got that confidence.
I got it.
I can build it. And this is the first wall I built without my dad's supervision.
He's talking himself out of being drunk. He's like, I'm not drunk, man. I got this.
I'm good.
I was like, I'm good. I've got this. I know how to do this.
I've done this before.
With walls, you build them on the floor. You measure, and then you measure and cut. And I had my fucking radial arm saw, and I'm cutting and measuring. Okay, I've got this right. I'm nailing shit together. Boom, 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 boom. Then we get the fucking wall set up, and okay, it's not quite. And so we bring it back down, and I fuck with it a little bit more. And at that point, I'm like, and I had another beer or two while I was doing that. And I was like, I can't even fucking stand anymore. So I was like, let's put the tools away for the night. Actually, I think that was Brittany's idea.
Did that ever get straightened out? You got a nice straight.
Well, I'm coming to that.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So the next day I go downstairs. Well, the next day I went to work and I felt like ass all day. And all day with my hangover, I was like, I just built that wall last night and I know I'm going to have to fucking tear it apart because I can't do anything. I'm lucky to get away with doing shit when I'm sober, much less when I'm drunk. So I get home, I'm dreading it. I go downstairs, I get the wall, and I get it set up. I'm looking, I'm like, dude, this is the best fucking thing I've ever built in my life.
Is it nice?
Oh, it's the best wall I put in the whole fucking basement.
Well, start drinking while
I know.
Drinking at work. Here we go.
I'm far more productive when I'm intoxicated. So, and like the window sill, like everything.
Lined right up.
Dude, I remember looking at my tape measure like,
that's pretty good.
I'm like, that's close enough. Like I couldn't see anything on the tape measure. And anyway, I was stoked. I was like, I thought I fucked it all up.
It's perfect.
And it was perfect. And I
love it.
And I finished going around the basement, building walls in front of windows. And I'm like, dude, this isn't as good. This is not as good as the one it was when I was
More
hammered.
beer.
Yeah.
Bring the beer.
More beer.
What project did you do beforehand that gave you the confidence to be like, I could do this? Was it just your dad kind of showing you the first?
Yeah.
You never built nothing before that?
Yeah, I mean, I built a deck years ago that turned out pretty good, but nothing serious. Just fuck around shit. So no, not really. And I just got all this confidence, and it was.
That's the only way to do it is just start doing it.
Yeah, and I jumped.
We talk about it all the time,
and I was amazed, and I'm like,
it's real.
You know, it kind of goes back to the whole like drunk driving thing. Obviously, I'm not pro drunk driving.
Absolutely.
But every time you see a drunk driving accident, who always lives? The drunk guy.
Just saying.
So
tell us why that is. Can you? Is there? This is why do we do this?
So I've always just assumed it's that they're limber and just kind of flop around and maybe
Isn't that
but
weird?
so I thought, of course this is a joke. I've got to preface this so people don't get offended. But I always say, well, if the drunk driver is the one who always lives in a drunk driver crash, if we all drive around drunk, nobody will die in a car accident.
We're fine.
Yes. It hasn't caught
Can
on
I
yet.
sign? What do we sign? Do I sign right
Yeah,
now?
it hasn't caught on yet. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, there we go.
That worked out really good.
So anyway, yeah, it was fun, but it was a tremendous, overwhelming undertaking that gave me a whole new respect. But
And you crushed it.
I crushed it, and the only thing in our basement we have left to do is like put the doorknobs on the doors. Like that's where we're at. Because I'm a tiler. I made a custom shower.
You got all your own tools and shit and everything?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got like our shower downstairs has like an arched thing. I mean, our playroom, we have a playroom that we built that wasn't intended to be anything but just an empty space down there. And it's got 2 levels with a ladder that goes up. We have a TV and an Xbox in the top level.
Damn, handy.
Little windows cut in, for the kiddos to look through and like because they do coffee shop, right?
What's coffee shop?
Yeah.
Got it.
They know our coffee shop, so they do their own coffee shop.
Got it.
Yeah. So we done a ton of work. I made my own office down there, which with the YouTube that I do and my projects I do, and when we were podcasting for a while, we would do it in my office. I painted the walls black. It's badass.
I gotta see it.
It's like a dungeon.
I want to come see it.
Yeah. It's fun. It's cool little office, gun safe down there, and my desk and
The man cave.
Yeah. I edit it. I drink beer in there. Yeah.
Do you make your own beer?
I did.
I
did for a couple of years. I made my own beer, and I loved it. And it was
Is
great.
it? Is it good? It's good. Is it good?
Oh yeah, it was
Shit.
awesome.
We know somebody else that does this.
Really?
And I thought that shit was illegal. It's not.
No, it's not illegal.
They sell kits, don't they?
Oh yeah.
You can't sell it.
You can't sell it.
Okay.
That's the catch.
I always thought it was just illegal to make it.
No, you just can't sell it. So
Gotcha.
I'd brew 5.5 gallon batches, and so let me start over here. When I get into hobbies, I go like balls deep, absolutely bury my like money like I've got it, just pour money on it. Hence my filmmaking stuff.
All in, baby.
I mean, I have tens of thousands of dollars worth of gear, and I'm not going to part with any of it because
Right.
I need it at some point.
You're gonna need it.
Yeah, I'm a Sony shooter, so every time the new Sony camera comes out, I order it. I mean, I've got to have it. I shouldn't do this, but when I get into a hobby, there's there's nothing to stop me with it. But the downfall to that is I will kind of, with some of them anyway, I burn myself out because I get to a point where I'm like, I've got it all. What do I do now? Like
See, it's not about it then. It's about the grind. Yeah. It's about the grinding. You like grinding.
Right.
I love that.
With the beer brewing, I started out with like the kits that anybody can get.
Yeah.
And it turned out like shit. So I researched it online a little bit more and got better at it. And then I immediately upgraded to the better, like the actual way of doing it, where you actually extract fermentables out of the grains. And it's all about chemistry and time.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, it's a shitload of work. But I would make so I like beer. I really like beer. I don't like Bud Light. I don't like gas station beer.
You like real.
I drink stouts, Russian Imperial stouts, double IPAs, pretty much anything in the 7 to 12% alcohol range, which that's where those beers usually fall. So that's all I would make. And then I started kegging it. And I got me a kegerator.
Like storing it? Is it what?
Yeah, I'd get like the corny kegs, the same kegs that like Coca-Cola uses. I'd get those refurbished and I'd keg them. And then, because the whole fermentation process, or the whole process from like starting to drinking, I would say on average was like 2 months.
Holy fuck, for 5.5 gallons?
Yeah, there's some beers that go
right? You said 5.5 gallons?
Yeah.
That's not.
It's not that much.
I mean, that's a lot, but
for one guy,
that's a lot of work, bro.
It's a ton of work. So it could be as much as
a
couple of years.
I know it's that much work.
And it could be as quick as 3 weeks.
Wow.
So I struggle with patience. I don't do that very well. So
I might understand.
I really had to accept the process, which was super fun. Like I couldn't wait to get home, and then I'd take a gravity reading of my beer to kind of see where it's at, and that kind of gauges your fermentation process. And you have the little airlock on the top that's sitting there bubbling away because it's fermenting and giving off
cool.
O2 and stuff. Yeah, so it's a super fun process. But then I was building temperature controlled fermentation chambers. Like I had a big stainless steel conical fermenter. Like it was like a brewery in my basement.
Damn.
And then when I'd throw the keg in the kegerator. And at the time, Brittany didn't drink craft beer. It takes, I don't know if you guys drink craft beer. It takes a while to get to that.
I've tried, yeah. It's
it's
like smoking a menthol. It's like, that's what I gauge it as.
Okay, yeah. It's like
smoking a cigarette and then you hit a menthol, you get dizzy.
Right. You had a Bud Light drinker, a Hop Rising double IPA.
He gonna get fucked up.
They're gonna be like, what the fuck is this
It
gasoline?
tastes so weird.
It's so weird. Yeah.
You like it though.
Oh, I love it. I live for it.
What are some of your favorite local breweries?
Okay, so
sorry for the Jets, guys.
Yeah.
No,
airplanes.
don't be sorry. That's the sound of freedom, and that's a F-35 out there. I'm all over F-35s. So, my favorite breweries, because there's tons of them around. I like the Templin Family Brewing. I like Squatters and Wasatch are probably my two favorites. Epic Brewing out on State Street is awesome. Squatters, they have an awesome brew pub with awesome food. Well, the Hop Rising double IPA has been one of like my all-time. That's kind of my jam. That's my default. That's what I go to. Well, on the can or the label is a guy with a beard and overalls, and he's got a pitchfork and a gigantic hop on the pitchfork.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been their label for 20-something years. And so I always was like, and I knew his name was Jason Stock. I just because it says on the can that his name is Jason Stock. He's one of our head brewers. And I always wanted to meet Jason. And fast forward several years, I got in touch with the marketing guy at Squatters because I was doing my freelance video work.
Yeah.
And I just cold call in places. And hold on. So I was doing any job that came my way. And then I realized quickly, if I think it's stupid, I'm not going to put my heart and soul into it. So I did a few jobs. I did like one for a little girl's like dance studio. It was dumb to me. Like, this isn't my thing.
Yeah.
It just isn't my thing. And so in the editing process, which is where you spend tenfold the time versus the filming process, I was cutting corners. And I was like, if I watch this thing one more time, I'm going to eat a bullet because I can't do it. I just cannot watch this. And so I found real quick, I'm only going to take work that's shit I think is cool. because then I'll put my effort into it. So
Yeah.
then I get a hold of Squatter. So I'm like, dude, what a perfect place to start. I end up working out a contract with them and started doing their YouTube ads and their Facebook and all this stuff. So I started doing that with them. Well, I was at one of their events. I think it was like their 35th birthday that they had. It was in the summertime. And I saw Jason. I recognized him. And I was like, I'm out there with my camera filming him. I'm like, Jason. He's like, doesn't know me from Adam, right? And I'm like, dude, I did the celebrity thing. I'm like, can I get?
You kind of man crushed a little bit.
Yeah. I was like, can I get a picture, dude? And he was like, oh, hell yeah. So I'm holding my camera and my gimbal, and I've got my phone out doing a selfie. And
That's dope.
I was pretty stoked about it. And then I was talking to the marketing lady, and she's like, yeah, he's been getting that for 20 years. Like, and he hates the notoriety that he's got from it. Yeah, and I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, well, that kind of comes with it.
Yeah,
I was like, he's on the bottle of one of their most popular beers. I was like,
you got to deal with it.
yeah. So anyway, then I did a few more videos for him. And
Hold on, time out.
Yeah.
Did you get him tattooed on you?
Okay. I'm glad you said that.
I was going to ask that way before it.
It's crazy that you say that because I had full intentions of doing that. And I had told them that. Well, it weirded Jason out to the point, like, he was really freaked out.
You told him about it?
Well, I didn't tell him about
Oh.
it. The marketing lady told him about it. And then I got that vibe heavy that he was like, what the fuck?
He's like, no, bro,
Yeah, he's
no.
like, what the? And so,
That's too much, he
He's so
says.
creep stalker.
yeah, it was like creep
That's
stalker.
fucking funny, dude.
Yeah. So I thought, and at that time, I was coming up with my steampunk theme for my right arm, and I was like, that isn't gonna fit in. That just isn't gonna fit in. And I was like, I don't want this guy that I'm gonna be doing a lot more work with. We'll probably get a little bit closer over the next couple of years. I don't want it to be weird, like I've got some weird thing. So ultimately, no, I didn't. But they did tell me, because they know my love for Hop Rising Double IPA. They did tell me, they were like, if you do it, we'll give you like free Hop Rising for life.
What's the what?
And at that point, I was like, dude, okay, now you've thrown
a no-brainer.
You've thrown a whole new
That's a no-brainer
angle
right
into
there.
this. But so yeah, I didn't do it. But here's the other thing that's cool about Jason. So he is very Viking looking. He has a huge.
Just pulled it up right here.
See, yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, right there, the pitchfork. I see it, the green one.
Yeah, that's him. That's Jason.
That's dope.
Yeah. So, and the reason they used him for the label was one day they were like, Jason, you just have the look with the beard.
It fit. Yeah, it's weird.
It fits you.
It works.
Yeah. So they used him for it. And he told me, he's like, no, I have never personally brewed that beer and all that. It basically all the stuff that he's been asked for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like I think he regrets doing it. And I don't blame him because he's constantly, people are like, is that your favorite beer to brew? And he's like, no, for the 8 trillionth time to everybody. I've never made
Is it the number one?
I don't know.
Is it the biggest seller, I wonder?
But it's a big one. Like they do several variations of it. They do like the tropical hop rising. We call it a trop hop, where they have some citrus hops in it. Anyway, they do a ton of different
That's cool.
versions of it. So anyway, so I've been doing a lot of work with them and with him, and now it's not like this celebrity to me. Now it's more just he's just a dude I'm working with that I like.
Yeah.
And we have a lot in common. And every time I go into the brew pub in Salt Lake, I spot him and wave, and he comes and says hi. And
That's
stuff.
dope, bro.
It is cool. It's kind of as nerdy as it is. I totally had a celebrity crush.
Oh, dude,
That's
that's real.
yeah, I thought it was cool.
That's hella real.
Yeah. So it was.
I've never tried that shit. That shit makes me. I don't know how you drink that. Any of
Yeah,
those
yeah,
to
yeah.
me
It's
are very. What's the word? It's like almost. I don't know, hoppy, whatever. It's too thick. It's too much.
Oh yeah.
It's
They're
too
bitter.
dense. Yeah, bitter.
Bitter. Yeah.
The fuck that. That's
double and
it's
triple.
hard to. Whew.
Yeah. See that one right there? The one that's the Outer Darkness Russian Imperial Stout down on the bottom one right there.
Mm-hmm.
Jason completely himself came
That's
up
dope.
with. He came up with that
That
recipe.
fucking drawing's cool.
Oh yeah.
Or that can.
He came up with that recipe himself, and like years and years and years ago. And that beer is an outstanding beer. And I didn't know this, and Jason had to explain it to me. So he had grown up LDS, and he went on a mission.
And he runs. Okay.
Yeah. So he's a sense not, I guess not part of that anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm not LDS.
I would assume.
And I don't know a ton about it. So he had to explain to me that when you, I guess in their views, when you sin, you go to a place called outer darkness. And
Really?
Yes. So he said he named.
That works, dude. That's
and Jason,
creepy.
if you're hearing this and I'm wrong, I'm sorry. This
That's
is just
cool.
how I remember it. But
I think let's get him out here.
Yeah. So he called it the Outer Darkness, and
That's funny.
It's a big seller as far as I see, because I mean, all these years later, they still have it there. At
That's
the
dope.
brew pub, and yeah, it's good. But you know, I mean, I think we've all gone through our see that Grandeur Peak next to it.
Mhm.
I did a commercial on that one too when they released it.
How did they find you?
I cold called them.
Just you said that.
Yeah,
that's right.
And I'm like, I'm a freelance videographer, and I says,
they picked you, and
I said, I love your product.
that's cool.
And I says, I know about beer because I brewed it.
Dude, is there a commercial we can watch it right here?
Yeah, if you pull up, let me go to Squatters. Just type in Squatters Brewery or Squatters Brew Pub. They've got it on their YouTube.
But you've done several of them.
Yeah, I've done several.
I seen the one you did for a tattoo shop. You did a
Yeah.
That's a dope ass little. I don't even know what to call this. Is it clip or
Yeah, just kind of like a just a short little video.
Yeah, just short whatever. That's dope, man.
I'm trying.
Yeah, you're a talented dude, bro. I want to see or anything. Let's just pull up anything that you want to. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, I want you to see that one because I'm really proud of the one I did with Jason in it. It just turned out so. Squatters. Let me look. Let me see if I can find it on mine because it's on there.
I didn't know you were so tied to that shit.
Oh yeah, you know. And I used to drink. Huh?
Oh, he's playing. It was playing.
Yeah. Yes, this is it. This is it. Yeah, this one's the one.
Bro,
I voice over that too.
Dude, that's beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. You know, and
that was hella cool.
And
what's the beating on the thing? That's all real shit.
Yeah, he was making a beer. He was making a batch of beer.
Fucking cool video.
He wasn't making hop rising. I did this one too. Yeah, that was one. That was a
damn
ad they did for us. Yeah, or I did for them. I think those are the only two they've got on their YouTube.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. In fact, when I did that,
that's really cool. That fucking building is old, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's been so many different things, and like it's the tour. Like I went on a tour of the whole building, and it's super neat.
The thing, well, it's the one we eat at, right? Isn't that where we? Yeah. Okay, I've been in it.
Yeah. Monster Company just bought them.
Monster drink?
Yeah, like Monster Energy.
Oh, they did?
They bought the brewery, but not the restaurant. So they still that wasn't a part of the deal. The freestanding restaurants, I believe there's 3 of them. I believe.
Yeah. There's 3 restaurants in that place.
That's just one.
Okay.
But I think they have 3 restaurants or something like that. But they it's not a part of the deal. But yeah, Monster Energy just bought Squatters.
Well, so that sucks. You know, I don't.
Yeah, it's
like
nice to keep that shit hometown shit kind of vibe.
Like the guys who came, or the guys who
hella good for him though.
Oh yeah, the guys who founded it, they're from the area, and I believe, and they've, like 2 or 3 years ago was their 35th anniversary, so they've been doing it forever.
Oh, it's right there. Sure shit.
See, I just hope
that's crazy because, yeah,
I don't want them to change anything. I mean, I love.
Is that a sellout? Is that calling sellout? Isn't that exactly what that is?
Kinda, yeah. I don't.
It is, isn't it?
Kinda.
Damn.
But that's how
you grow, right? It's cool. It's just it's cool to have that like never die to the thing, staying local, weird. But there's you can't really grow much from that, right? You can. It's like the next step, right? It would be the next step what they're doing.
It'd be like somebody saying they want Highline Tattoo.
It's already happened.
Junior, are you gonna say no to $330 million?
No, that's it. He's set. That's what I mean. So what do you do right there though? Because we've had a thing happen here, and I said no.
See, and me and Brittany have talked that if somebody was to come up to us and offer X amount of dollars for our coffee shop,
see, that's it.
Dude, dude, money talks. And bullshit takes
set
the
a
bus.
number, and that would have worked for me right there.
Oh yeah,
I like that. Like, look, if we get this out of it, I'm good. Like that's dope. I can live right there.
Right. Yeah.
But man, there's something about that. Just
dude, especially 40 years
home, local. That's dope though. Good for them. Fucking 300. How many? What? 300 something million?
Yeah. The $330 million deal means that Squatters, Hop, Risings, Double IPA, and they named them off. Juicy, my favorite.
Wow.
All of them will move into the hands of Monster Energy along with various other brands around the country.
What does that do? Does that just give them more distribution and shit, probably, to be tied to somebody big like that?
Yeah,
I would imagine. Is that the idea of it?
I would imagine, but
to buy out some little local brewery that just wondered what.
And I love it. I mean, as we'll discuss
That's
later,
crazy.
I'm all about keeping shit local.
Totally. We support it
yeah,
big time
but
in this home as well.
It's like, just don't change what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if they take Hop Rising and they change it, dude, it'll piss me off.
But that's part of the deal, isn't it?
Yeah,
you're going to do what they say now.
I would imagine, yeah. So I don't imagine. I mean, why change something that isn't damaged?
That's right.
Don't fix it if it ain't broke.
Have you tried a two-row? Do you fuck with two-row?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I love
What's
the
two-row?
Phil and Hazy. That's another local brewery.
Yeah. The Phil and Hazy's cool.
Yeah,
That's the flavors?
Yeah. Dude, and you know what's cool about going
Dude,
to
it looks like those Sour Patch Kids. It reminds me of like sour. It has a poppy look.
Search astronaut juice.
You the fuck are into beer, bro.
Yeah. Let me tell you, one thing that's cool about craft beer is the art on the labels is fantastic. And astronaut juice.
It's the whole world. I didn't fucking know much. Yeah, that's cool.
Like the label for it is cool. And sometimes I will pick. Yeah, that
Jesus,
top
no
left,
shit.
the
Look at
top-
that. It's all pink and shit.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes
That's
but yeah,
cool.
I'll pick a beer
That's dope.
strictly based on how cool.
You know what? She was doing that with wine.
Yeah.
Wine bottles.
Yeah.
Some wine bottles are like that. That's fucking cool, dude.
Okay, now look up.
That's
one
dope.
more. Look up.
Hey, wait, that says Junior. Hey.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, look up.
That's fucking cool.
Junior astronaut juice.
That's like, yeah, that's cool.
Look up Melvin Brewing.
That's part of their thing for sure. That's fucking cool.
And then Dry Hopper's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, dear God. Government com.
Okay, now pull up that astronaut, the fourth one from the left, right there. Okay, now look right here at my arm.
Oh, dear God. You got it. Let's shout them out now. Come on.
Yeah, Melvin Brewing. They're badass. If you ever get a chance. I mean, I know
Where is it local? They're local as well?
they're up in Alpine, Wyoming. So I consider them.
Alpine. Yeah.
They're local. They're a small.
Dude, that was cool. That dude, that one you just had, that was dope looking. That is crazy. Yeah, I had no idea that was a world like that.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
It's fun. But, I got to myself. So to go back to my home brewing, at the time I was the only one in the family, between me and Brittany, that drank craft beer.
Yeah.
And I'd have a mug, like a 32-ounce mug or whatever. And I was like, okay, this is getting a little out of hand. Because I could brew a 5.5-gallon batch for like $40. So it was cheap. And it was 10% beers I was making. So I was like, I'm going to have one mug a night. And like, that's my limit.
32 ounces?
32 ounces.
That's
10%.
like fucking...
It's a lot. So then
12-pack.
Oh, yeah. But I was like, I'm going to have one a night, and that's it. Well, we had the kegerator downstairs right next to the basement, like man door to go outside. And I'd fill it up out of bed. Cool. There's my one mug, and I'd be sipping on it.
Oh, it's empty.
Next thing I know, the dog needs to go out. So I walk by, and I let the dog out of the backyard to go to the bathroom. I'm all,
What the hell?
top this bad boy
I'm right
off.
close.
And we're talking an inch or two.
It's kind of like driving by a gas station. If you need fuel, grab some fuel.
Top it off. Well, then 20 minutes later or an hour later, the dog need out again. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm still on my one mug. Well, I don't know if I knew it and just wanted to ignore it or if I don't know.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, I am still on my first mug. And it did not empty. So, dude, like it got into a problem for me. And so I stopped brewing. Well, then I almost killed myself with carbon monoxide poisoning because it was cold one day and I was brewing in the garage. And I have a big burner. And
you didn't vent it.
I didn't vent. Well, I opened the garage door like that, but that didn't do shit.
It wasn't lifting it out.
So I had a headache.
You're like,
fucking something was up. So I'm like, this is literally going to kill me one way or another. So I was like, I'm going to stop doing the home brew because it's just too accessible to this much drinking. So I stopped doing it, and I actually sold my stuff. I've kept my brew kettle because I took an old like Anheuser-Busch keg and converted it into a giant brew kettle.
That's dope.
And I'm like, I'm not getting rid of that because one day I might get back into this. I'm not getting rid of that.
Yeah.
So I've kept that, but I sold off everything else. And even now, like, and I was headed down the path of like an alcohol problem because when I got out of law enforcement couple years ago. And I
Got
was
out of it, you said?
Yeah. So I was in for 6 years or so, and I got six,
okay.
And I took my 18-month break because I had to get out.
Got it.
Like, I had no plans of going back, but I wanted a break. So I self-employed. And so but it was on my schedule. So I'd go do my thing, and I was serving court process. And then, while my wife was at work, I'd stay home with the kids. Well, since I no longer had to worry about going to work that day,
Keg it up.
I start drinking. And Brittany would come home to me fucking shit-faced, which is not good. I'm watching kids. This isn't good. And so the problem kind of began again. So I was like, okay. And that wasn't even homebrew. That was just like store-bought. And so I was like, okay, I've got to cut this back because that's just, it's not good for me. It's not good for my kids. I don't want them to see me doing this.
Right.
So I've cut that down. But what's crazy is I still enjoy drinking beer. I still enjoy the craft of it and the, getting into the hobby of it.
Yeah.
But I don't hardly ever do it anymore. And one of the main reasons is I am constantly going. I between my business, working at the PD, this morning I had a thing with a trucking company that I was dealing with, and then coming here. And as soon as I leave here tonight, I've got to go back out of the shop because I have shop duties to do tonight before tomorrow morning starts.
It's hard to do that when you feel like shit and you're a drinker.
Yeah, I'm like, if I'm drinking, how can I get around?
Yeah, you can't.
And so I'm like, you know what? This is a benefit in several ways.
Totally.
And so I really don't even keep it in the house anymore.
Yeah, it's fucking garbage.
It is, and I'm like,
but it's cool. It's a cool craft and all that.
It is, and it's just a matter of regulating.
Some of us can't control things we like.
Yes, I know. Yes, like when we go to Squatters and I've got somebody who doesn't drink, I don't care if you're charging me $50 a can. It's like
we're hitting it.
Oh, yep. I'm like, I'll deal with Bill later. I don't care. So that's the downfall. But like a lot of times, I'll just go by myself out there.
So you won't drink.
And I have to keep it under control. Yeah. Like I'll have one and be like, dude, I can't have any more.
Alcohol's a tricky one.
It is a tricky one, and it's.
So did you go back to work then? Right there, you in between your break. You said you I didn't know you took a break.
Yeah, I took an 18-month break.
And then you went back.
Yeah, so COVID hit because I was serving court process, just freelance, and then I had my freelance video business. And I was doing a lot of video stuff, and it was looking up for me. Well, then that lovely little thing called COVID showed up and fucked that all up. Mm-hmm. And every about hour, I was getting a phone call from clients saying, we got to cancel. We got to cancel. I had a plane ticket to Denver to do a job. He calls me. He's like, we got to cancel.
That fucking thing.
Yeah. I ended up getting a sponsorship on YouTube, and it was from this company in Denver, and they were going to fly me out to do a video there with them. Yeah, that got canceled. So everything was just shutting down. Now I'm like, dude, I got a mortgage to pay.
Back to work.
I got bellies to feed. And so my buddy, my best friend, actually, he's at the time, he was the lieutenant out at Kaysville PD. And he called me and he says, hey, and I knew their chief.
Because you were at a different spot, right? Before.
Yeah, I was at Clinton PD before. And the chief at Kaysville, I'd known him because I had interviewed with him 3 prior times. Didn't get the job all 3 times, which was a bummer because that's where I really wanted to be. And Sean, my buddy, calls me. He's like, hey, chief wanted me to give you a call. He wants to know if you want to come back into law enforcement, which kind of caught me by surprise. So I'm like, dude, he's turned me down like 3 times, like over the years. Like now he's calling. Yeah. But I was like, I told him it was a waste of fucking time. You were not going to go for this, but he insisted I called you. So just so I can tick the box that says I called you, I'm calling you. I'm like, actually, let me talk to Brittany about this.
Sold.
Yeah. So I called him back and I'm like, just because of COVID, I was like, the fuck are we going to do? Yeah. And I was like, wow, the clouds opened up and shined on me and I'm like, let's do this. So then I had to go through the whole process, of course. And now I'm back at it.
Do you have to retrain? Do they make you go through anything crazy again? Like you don't have to go back through like police academy shit.
No. So the way it works is if you get out in Utah anyway, if you get out, you have 18 months to get back in.
Okay.
Or
you're right there.
Or you have to take the written test again.
Got you.
If you go 3 years, you have to do the academy again. So if you go 3 years, you have to start over from the bottom.
Gotcha.
Academy and all that stuff. So anyway, I was able to get back in and back rolling with no hiccup. And we made it by like 4 days. It was 18-month gap. I had by like 4 days, I made it back. So it worked out in that way. And the agency's great. Administration's great. The leadership is something I definitely admire because they are good leaders.
Obviously, you still have a job.
Yes, with my hand tattoo.
I felt personally responsible for ruining, well, not personally. He comes in and starts tattooing his hands.
Yeah.
Like,
let me.
Brett, are you sure you can do this?
It's okay, and I'll explain this.
And then actually, your boss come in and chewed my ass.
Yes, so I'll explain that a little bit because it's fine. Let me tell you a little bit.
He brought his daughter in, and he's like, "If you tattoo Brett one more time."
Yes, he's awesome. So,
and I don't even tattoo him. Jade does, but
so. You don't see cops. I mean, you see cops with tattoos, but you don't see them on their hands.
Not
too
on
often.
their hands.
I am the kind of. I'm a small child, okay, in the sense that if you tell me not to do something, fuck you.
Right.
I'm gonna do it, and I don't think too much about the consequence.
And you're a cop.
And I'm a cop. So
that's so
yes, it's
beautiful.
It's very strange.
You're yin and yang for real.
Yeah. Like so I'm growing my hair long again. Well,
you were rebelling the whole way.
So I grow it long and I wear a hat at work so people don't see it.
Right.
Here a couple years ago, it was like 10 inches long. Like I've got the same as I do now, but it was like much longer.
And that's against.
Oh yeah, that's well against regulations. But I keep it under a hat. Nobody ever questioned it. Like it's not like the military where you got to take the hat off when you go inside.
Right.
Like I could keep my hat on, and it kept it hidden.
But you can't hide that hand.
Right. So off duty, people will. And sometimes my hair, I'll tie it up into like a top knot, and people see me as like this, and then they hear what I do, and it's priceless, the look on people's face. They're like, wait, what?
It is weird, dude.
And they're like, because I do not look like a cop.
You don't fit it at all.
I don't fit it at all. And so people are, and I've had people be like, so are you like, do you do like undercover stuff?
You narcotics?
I'm like, no, I'm a damn patrol cop. I push a patrol car around town. And everybody's like, no shit.
You're the coolest cop in the world. You see a motherfucking cop coming up like that, blasted hand, you're like, we're cool.
Dude, I got to tell you, though.
I wonder if that's a thing. Let's talk.
The city hates this shit.
Absolutely.
Like, they hate it. They want that officer-friendly look. And not my chief, but the city itself. I won't name names because I want to retain my employment for now. But I
understand their side of it 100%.
Yeah,
it's a look.
They don't like it.
I had to do it at the power company.
And I keep telling them, I'm like, this is 2022. It's not just criminals and sailors anymore that have tattoos. Like, this is a normal thing now. As much as they don't want to accept it, it is normal. And I was like, not only that, this relates to people. So, quick story. The other day, we had a guy come in that he was being accused of a crime, and we called him. We're like, you need to come in. Like, you ran the other night. Okay, you need to come in and talk to us because we need to hear your side of the story. So he was reluctant, and he's like, fuck it. All right, I'll come in. So he comes in, and he has tattoos on his neck. You can see him. He's got a lot of tats. And one of the first things he says to me is, your guys are only doing this to me because I've got tattoos. And let me tell you how long I've been waiting for somebody to say that. I'm like, no shit. He's like, yeah. I'm all, boop. I pull up because I have to wear cover-up things.
Yeah.
I pull him up, and he's all, oh, no shit. And I'm like,
it instantly brought it to your level, didn't it?
Yeah. I was like, now try telling me it's because you've got tattoos. Dude. Me and him were boys in seconds. Boom. He was right down. He's like, so where'd you get your shit done?
Weird what commonality does.
Yeah. He's like, what's that? He's like, oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah, look at this one on my... Dude, like that, he was 180.
How do we balance that?
I don't know.
The image of what the county want, the uphold of this professional image, or do we want to be part of what... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a tricky little line.
It is a tricky line. And it's like, listen, I don't have... a pair of boobs hanging out on my arm like in a tattoo. Like, I get that. The city doesn't need that image. But I'm like, there is nothing on my arms that could ever be misconstrued as something offensive. Like, you couldn't. You couldn't if you tried. And so it's like people, and I know people, like the Kaysville citizens have this stigma about, yes, they're heavy LDS. I get that. But because I don't follow the rules either. Big shocker, right?
You can... No, I don't
follow the rules. Yeah. So I cover them up with the little sleeve things, and I've been told, I've even been written up for it, that I'm supposed to cover it up, my hand up with a glove. I refuse to do it. Like, I just, I want to do it. And it's not to be a dick, but it's like, I'm not going to put gloves on every time, on, off.
Latex or some shit. It's not good all day.
And I'm not going to wear just one glove.
Michael Jackson.
So I've got to wear two gloves. And I'm like, this is stupid. Like, rules are rules. I get it. Some rules make sense. That is stupid. So I don't do it. Well, every Kaysville citizen that I've encountered that's mentioned this, it's been the total 180 of what the city thinks they'll say. They're like, that is awesome. Is there more? And I'll be like, yeah, I'll pull this off. And we're talking people that you'd never imagine.
Now
and
you're friends
like,
again.
They're like, that is outstanding. Like, we're talking like uppity people. And I'm like, I've yet to have anybody be like, I'm offended and I'm calling the chief. Everybody is like so receptive to it. Like, that looks amazing. Like, and I'm like, but because of the decision of one person, I can't do it.
That's what's so weird about stigmas is that's a tricky world right there.
It is.
Because what do you do?
Yeah. And does this make me a worse cop? No. Not at all. Not in the least bit. Like, my job is still the same.
Are they ever going to let it go? Any of this go, you think? Because I applaud the pushing. I'm much this way too.
Yeah.
There's a fine line right there though between public image. Well, the public is us.
Yeah.
The public is me blasted in tattoos. Just be part of. Yeah. Why do we need to be so different?
Right. And so will they change? My chief is pushing for it. I got to give it to him.
That's cool, man.
In fact, he has tattoos, so he's pushing it. But
he's been here.
Yeah, and he knows the political game. And he's like, I got to pick my battles. And he says, right this moment, he's like, this isn't a battle to pick right now.
Yeah.
And I trust his judgment on that.
But you said it well with you, the way you connect with people. Man, bro.
Oh, dude.
That's the best thing to stand on when you take it to that.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I instantly am just warm people up. They connect. They feel like I'm not above them.
Dude, we were fist bump. Dude, he went from pissed off.
And now you got a friend.
To fist bumping in seconds. The other officer was not having that luck. And it's just because the guy related with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's a major benefit. And it's so frustrating for me being a bottom level guy, just a patrol cop. My thoughts they're not going to change anything. I shouldn't say they don't matter, but they're not going to change anything.
Right.
Chief knows where I stand on it. Everybody knows where I stand on it. Everybody knows I'm still breaking the rules because I waltz through the PD with my hand out. And
put it in your pocket.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like we have
just always having your vest.
We have the external vest.
Yeah, just stick in your vest.
I'll stick them in there, and I'm like, okay, I'll try to cover it up a little bit. Or else, it was funny. Seth, my assistant chief, that gave you shit about my hand.
Mm-hmm.
One time we were
it was so fucking funny.
We were at like a city gathering. We're like this side of the city, like the admin side, and then the police side. We're all mingling with like cake and stuff. And Seth pulls me over to me. He's like, dude, cover your fucking hand up. And he said it in like a joking way, but he pointed at certain people in here. He's like, cover it the fuck up, dude. And I'm like, dude, I almost don't want to just because I want to stir this pot.
Yeah, keep it live in here.
And I told him, I was like, you wait till I get my fucking throat blasted.
Oh, he's shaking.
Oh, no. Yeah. He's like, hell
you
no.
You make him so nervous. You cause that ripple in the leadership thing. They're like, fucking watch that fucking guy.
But here's the thing, though, and I'll say this about myself.
I love that.
I will definitely say this about myself. I get along with everybody.
Yeah, man.
I get along with everybody. And I feel like I am a fairly likable guy.
Yes, you are.
And so guys like Seth, he likes me, and he knows I'm fucking around. But he also knows I'm not kidding. I'm not covering it up.
Man, it's time for change.
And he knows
this needs to stop.
Yeah. So like I said, these guys know me, and they just shake their head because they're just like, what do we do with this guy?
It takes a guy like you to make this be okay, because it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I've always said that like the most toxic thing a company can say, and we're going to call them a company, even though they're not a companies per se, but when people say, why do we do this? And then their reply is, because that's the way it's always been done. That is the most toxic thing ever. Because you know what? Shit changes, and that needs to change with it. Like, that's a little thing. In fact, because I'm on my way out. I'm done. I've made the decision. I've got some other plans.
How long-ish?
I will be surprised if I'm still a cop in 60 days.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
When's his tattoo? When's his next tattoo?
Yeah, let's get that throat blasted.
Yeah, the neck, that's going to be the...
Fuck, he's in here all the time. He lives here.
I live here. Hey, was I or was I not the fastest sleeve you guys have done?
That is not only that, it's one of the most intricately beautiful pieces of art it is unbelievable.
It's turned out, yes.
Yeah, it was fast.
Like, I could know shit.
He come down the shop one day. I'm going to interrupt your ass right now. He opens the door and he's like, I'll never forget this. You're like, after a session, hey, can I just, yeah. He's like, can I just give Jade money? Can I just bring her money when I have it? To kind of like hold it. I laughed and I'm like,
Kind of like a layaway.
Fuck yeah, you can. So he's like, oh, it was fucking so funny.
Yeah.
I went up and told Jade that. She was cracking up.
Yeah.
I'm like, you bet your ass.
Dude, I have, yeah.
He's like, I just keep stacking here. Just take it. I'll be there someday. We'll use it.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Like,
was funny.
Because then when I come in for, okay, so I have one coming up in, what is it, the 16th? I've got one coming up in 3 weeks, and then I've got one like 2 weeks after that, and then April 6th, which is my birthday, so I made sure I secured that one because that's going to be my birthday present to myself. But it's hard, when you have them back-to-back like that. That's a lot of goddamn money going out.
Oh,
so
buddy.
I'm like, if I just stack money in her pocket, I can just be like, just deduct it.
Yeah, it's gone. Here you go.
Deduct it from my credit.
It's a savings that you can't touch.
And
Bye.
you don't even notice it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's.
Listen, everybody.
I would sit upstairs, dude. I would sit up there for 12 hours every other day if I could.
I know you would. I remember your first one.
Yeah.
I remember you up there, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, I think I like this.
It began big time. And my wife teases me still.
And you had not one single tattoo.
Not one.
What made you even go there?
Okay, this is a good question because I think there's a noble answer to that.
And how? Yeah.
So what happened was, I'm gonna start at the beginning, like 20. How old am I? Like 20 years ago. I walked into a tattoo. Okay, you guys remember? Oh hell, I don't even know what it's called. It was in Layton, just at Main and Gentile.
Mm-hmm.
In the back of those buildings, behind like Layton Trading Post, there were those little outlets,
Oh,
and there was a little tattoo shop back there.
I could say the name, and I won't.
Yeah, okay. I went in there at 18 years old, and it was one of those things. And this is in 2001, so there was no Instagram and none of that shit. You can Google anything. So I went in there, and the guy had like the binder, and I'm flipping through it, looking at it, like the generic 800 million people have this on them, but I didn't know any better. I'm an 18-year-old kid. I find this thing, and once again, to go back to my redneck thing where I thought I was a redneck, I see a skull and crossbones, and the crossbones were like Confederate flags. And it wasn't like a racist thing. It was Confederate flag was like redneck, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, dude, that's awesome. That's what I want. And I go, and the guy that was working there, he was tatted up pretty good. And he's like, how old are you? I says, and I looked real young. I mean, I don't look, I still look young. But I looked really young at 18.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm 18. He's like, are you sure you want that? And I'm like, dude, are you like, I'm willing to pay you money. Like, what are you doing talking me out of this?
Yeah, dude.
And he's like, just maybe think on it a little bit. And my mind was blown because I was pissed. I was like, oh, I've got money. He's like, just give it some thought. Well, dude, 2 days didn't go by, and I'm like, holy shit. I owe that man a beer.
Yes, sir.
Because I am so grateful he talked me out
integrity.
of that. Yeah. And so it kind of scared me off of it for a few years. Well, then my buddy started getting tattoos, and we were like 21, 22. And I went to another shop, and I had this sticker. I was a Ford guy at the time. And I had this sticker of like the Ford logo with some chick straddling it with her boobs like hanging out. And I'm like, I want this. Oh, I want this.
Next guy.
Yes.
And think about it.
This is a shop in Salt Lake. Totally. And he's like, once again, he's like, think about it a minute.
A lot of shops have this.
I was like, God damn it. This is the second person to tell me this. Well, no doubt within a short amount of time, I'm like, shortly thereafter, I wrecked that truck and I switched over to Dodge, and I was a Dodge guy. And I'm like, the rest of my life, I'd be explaining why I have a Ford.
This is a Coke and Pepsi. This is a problem.
Yeah, this is a problem. I was like, this could have been a serious problem for me. So at that point, I'm like, okay, that's told me what I need to know. I changed my mind too much.
What flipped it to this?
So years go by, right? 20 years have gone by at that point. And I had thought about it over the years, but then I stuck with my old opinion. I'm like, ooh, what if it's something I won't like?
Yeah.
Well, then a guy who worked for the sheriff's office here in Davis County, he retired, and he was a pilot. And I was on duty the day this happened, and this wasn't that long. This was 2 years ago. We hear out over the radio, which is something you don't hear too often, is an airplane crash comes out over the radio. Like, what the fuck? A fucking airplane crash. It's the third time in my career I've ever heard an airplane crash. So of course our ears perk up. We're like, where is this? And it was in Farmington. So we're like, let's fucking go. Let's go. The whole world shows up to it. Well, we ended up not going because we had other shit we had to deal with, but we were keeping an ear on what was going on. It turned out to be the deputy with the county who just retired. Well, he died. He didn't die on the scene. They made the decision to.
He was the pilot?
Yeah, he was the pilot. Him and another guy, and they both died. and it was not pretty. It had a pretty big effect on the county because he'd been around for a while.
Yeah.
And he died like a couple days later in the ICU. And it really got me thinking. I was like, why? I'm like, here a guy worked his ass off. He was a good cop. He retires. He thinks, this is where I'm going to start the time of my life. And then he fucking dies.
Yeah.
And I thought, why am I not doing shit that I want to do? Like, what are my reasons here? So I revisited my reasons for not getting tattoos. And I thought, those are outdated reasons. I'm not 18 anymore. I'm almost 40. And I'm like, I'm halfway through my career. I know what not to get. I know what would be a job stopper down the road at some point. I'm like, why am I still using that old school thought? And so I told my wife, I was like, I'm going to go do it. I mean, you don't know what the fuck tomorrow brings.
And that's true, man.
And I was like, I'm not going to fucking retire and then die.
Yeah.
And not doing shit I want. I'm like, this isn't going to happen. I'm going to go do it. So then that's why we kind of started with.
How'd you find us?
So that's an awesome story. So one of the guys I work with, his daughter, because I was sitting there explaining, I'm like, I can research a car. I can, research a phone. I can research whatever. I'm like, how the fuck do you find a tattoo? I've never shot for a tattoo shop.
That's a good point.
And I was like, I don't know how to do this. Like, where do I even begin?
Word of mouth.
So I got online and I talked to a shop in Ogden, and I just didn't feel it. Like, he did a consult over the FaceTime or whatever, and I was like, I'm not feeling this guy. Like, he was expensive, and I didn't think his work was that great. And so I decided right then and there, I'm like, here's the deal. You can go, everybody has a budget, and if something you want doesn't fit that budget, but something that will does fit that budget, you're probably going to go with that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I'm not going to do that with tattoos. Basically, I'm going to forget price, and I'm going to find the artist I like, and if I can't afford them, then I'm just not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be like, well, I need to go find the guy that's $30 an hour. We're not going to do that. I'm not going to. I was like, I am not going to. I'm going to focus more on work and quality than I am on price.
Yeah.
And so I was talking about that at the break room one day at the PD.
He's like, check her out.
Well, yeah, and this one dude's like, well, I know this gal. My daughter. Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's Highline Tattoo. They're out of West Point. I'm like, oh, perfect. That's like 5 minutes from my house. And he's like, my daughter does like their microblading. It was Michaela.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's a gal there that at the time I think she was kind of new.
Yep.
He's like, check out her Instagram. Yeah, and I thumbed through her Instagram like for days. And I'm like, dude, I've yet to find something that I wasn't amazed by.
Let's look at it. It's ridiculous.
So I called her. I was out mowing my lawn.
It's beautiful.
I called Erica, and then I don't know. Anyway, I was mowing my lawn when I finally got hold of Jade, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, book me like 3, like right now. Just book out 3. And then, so that's why, and I knew I wanted to do a steampunk theme. And
it's cool work, man.
I started with the clock because it made me, just from that deputy that got killed, I was like, time.
The Davis County guy?
Yeah. I was like, time, man. I'm running out of it.
We all are, man.
And so I thought, let's start with that.
It's real.
Got my kiddos' birthdays in there and stuff. As far as
that's cool
meanings, that's really the only one. That and my camera.
Yeah, that's what you live for.
I love the filmmaking thing. But the rest of it, I was like, just cool steampunk shit.
That's beautiful shit.
Well, the astronaut, that has meaning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My favorite beer. That does have a meaning. That's right.
Did you see it? Could you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I there he is.
You got to hit the bow again, bro. Yeah. What are you going to do with the bow? The hell bow?
I don't know.
Fuck, that spot sucks.
It does, yeah.
Asshole.
We got to touch up that little rose right there. But, yeah, it turned out.
It's beautiful work. Jade is unbelievable, man.
We've got to fill in this little spot. And I got to fill in.
He's showing, for those of you who don't watch this, they're about the size of maybe a dime.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah, there's 2 of them, and I've got to fill them in. My wife keeps coming up with ideas for this spot, and I don't like them because she thinks she's funny.
She is funny.
Yeah, well, she wants me to put a wiener right there, and I won't do it.
What's wrong with a wiener?
I don't want one there.
You have a.
I do.
I assume.
I do have one.
So you're okay with it?
I just don't want it there, though.
Why don't you just throw a hop there?
I could throw a hop there.
Damn, he's speaking, preaching.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing to put there.
Or
yeah. But I got to fill that in. But I got to tell you, when I order the coffee.
Yeah.
cup,
What about we got to get to that too.
Yes.
And filming and all this shit.
Yeah.
You're fucking all over the place.
I am all over the place.
So
I'm exhausted all the time.
It's okay. Always tired.
Yeah,
that's a good thing,
dude. My idol is Elon Musk.
He's dope.
Dude, he is.
I don't think he's human.
I don't either.
I think he's a fucking, I don't know what he is, robot of some kind.
When I feel tapped out from all that I've got going on, I think about Elon and I'm all, he's running a space company. He's running the world's most valuable automaker. He's got a solar company.
And he's actually running them.
Yes. He's got a boring, like a drilling boring company. I'm like,
isn't he one of the wealthiest human alive right now? I think he's top 2 or 3.
Bezos, right?
It goes between him and Bezos. Right now,
he's fucking.
Yeah.
Where'd he come from?
He came from South Africa.
He just popped up one day, and he's the biggest thing that ever lived.
Dude, I read a biography on him.
He's fucking. Go.
He's insane. The guy is absolutely insane. Like the Joe Rogan podcast where he's on. I've watched him like several times because I can't wrap my head around this guy.
He's cool.
I'm obsessed with him. An absolute man crush on him, 100%.
He's fucking dope.
I have a Tesla on order, halfway because I think the guy's freaking amazing.
What one did you get? What'd you get?
I ordered a Model Y.
Really?
Yeah, I ordered it in October. It's not supposed to be here till September.
Holy! I was gonna ask how long.
Yeah, it's a year.
Are you pulling it up?
Yeah,
fucking Teslas are so fucking cool.
Oh, have you driven one?
I've not driven, but I've been in two different times. I've been in them.
But they
as a passenger, and they are fucking weird,
insane.
Have you been in a Tesla?
I've never been in a Tesla, but we were just talking about
it
one
is
yesterday.
the most intense fucking thing you have ever felt in your life.
So that
is this it?
Yeah, that's the Model Y.
God, they're fucking weird.
So
it feels like a missile.
Oh yeah, like the accelerator. Okay, so I want one not for the environmental reasons.
You like Elon?
I like Elon.
Look at the fucking interior of that car. It's so sexy.
They're
There's nothing in them, dude. They're cool.
Simplicity, yeah. But like
they're weird. Dope.
Brittany and I went and test drove one a while back at the dealership, and it blew my mind. And I've always been a diesel guy, like roll in that
fuel, baby,
just pump that fuel in. Yeah, I'm telling you,
these things are fucking cool.
That Tesla Model Y, which is just like their standard. It's not like it's like their bottom,
their
tier.
base model shit.
The Y isn't the base model, but it's like this performance of it is like their base level performance.
Yeah.
It would run circles around my police car. I'm like, I wouldn't even begin to chase one. Like, wouldn't even begin to.
Really?
I was going to ask that
fast.
0 to 60 in like, it's like a second, right?
Well, the Tesla Model S Plaid does 0 to 60 in 1.9.
Fuck,
which makes it the fastest production.
Dude, 1.9 seconds. You know how fast that is?
It's the fastest production car ever built.
And you can't fucking hear it. That's the weirdest part.
Yeah.
I'm saying it because I've been in them. You can't fucking hear them.
Yeah. So you get a lot of people talk shit on them. Like
they're dope.
They're dope, dude.
You get in one.
Yeah.
I've been in 2 of them. They're fucking. They're really cool.
You drive one, you got to test drive one. Your mind will be blown.
They're cool.
You're talking.
What's your thought about the Cybertruck?
Okay, so Brittany wants a Cybertruck, which kind of shocked me because
what's the Cyber? We pull it up so I can see it.
The Cybertruck isn't
because I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not in love with the Cybertruck.
Is it this Tesla?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not in love with the looks of it, but the performance of it, I want to see if it truly performs as they say it will perform.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I just don't feel like it's the most attractive.
It's like 4-wheel drive and shit. Oh yeah. Good God, look at this thing.
Yeah,
it's like a DeLorean.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like Doc Brown's time machine.
Yeah. Roads where we're going, we don't need roads.
Yes. They're pimp.
Marty.
But yeah, I'm just not loving
look at that fucking thing. What?
Yeah. But it'll do 500 miles on a single charge.
Elon, you're killing that thing's fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that or not. It's cool.
But this is the crazy thing about it. You can get one for $60,000. You go find me another truck that'll do what that truck will do. For
it looks fucking bulletproof.
It's made out of stainless. Dude, he was slamming it with a sledgehammer when they presented it, and it didn't leave a mark. We're not going to talk about the window.
Yeah. But sorry about the window on that.
Yeah. But
he's a badass, dude.
He's a badass.
He's truly just, wow.
Like, yeah. You get, like at work, Seth, that came here with his daughter.
Yep.
My assistant chief.
Yep.
Anytime somebody brings up Tesla and I'm in the room, he's always like, here we go. And sure enough, I go on my soapbox for like 2 hours.
Fangirl.
Yep.
It's good. It's good shit.
Yeah, they're
sweet. It's good shit. I've been in 2 of them. They're creepy feeling.
Yeah, they're so
It just
badass.
pulls you in the back of the seat. Like,
yeah.
It's just different. There's no, it's weird.
Dude,
it's like a fucking airplane, right?
Yeah.
There's no gearing. There's no,
it's
and you're just gone.
It's immediate torque.
And there's no noise. That's the weirdest part is there's no noise. Tires don't burn.
Yeah.
They grab, like, it's just goofy. They're cool.
So I talked to a gal the other day whose husband.
And they drive you home by themselves.
Yeah. You know, which brought up a good point at work one day. I was like, what do we do when we have a drunk guy in a Tesla in the passenger seat?
You high-five him.
And the car gets pulled over and I realize no one's driving it. Who gets the DUI?
Will the car pull over?
I'll tell you who gets the DUI. Fucking nobody does.
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch that with a
Why would you pull him over if the Tesla's driving?
Why would it?
If going the speed limit?
Yeah.
Yo, if the Tesla's driving, how does it know to stop for you?
I think that's in beta software because that's
It
been
does
an
know.
issue.
It does know?
I think that they're working on that.
Because you see, feel me?
Yeah.
If it's driving you or whatever,
Yeah, and
you're like, it's driving me home.
yeah, but it was like if you had like a tail light out, and I was like, oh, I'll stop this.
It must
Tesla.
have a sensor that
Dude,
grabs you.
Me personally, and I'm my own breed of cop because I don't make a big
Be
deal
careful
over
what you
shit.
say.
You don't say.
I'm my own breed of cop. I don't believe in writing people tickets. I don't. Well, to an extent, but yeah, if that was me and that was the situation, I'd just be like, sweet man. On your way.
That's
I guess.
safe. That's
The car's
safe.
safer than you, so
Don't they have like no accident? That's tricky.
They've had some issues with them, but everything.
There's issues with everything.
That AI is getting better every day.
Yeah. Oh, AI scares me. Fucking scares me.
So when do you get it? Is it May? You said
No, September.
September.
Dude, what color did you get? Is it this red one?
It's a white one. I went with the white one with the black interior, but me and Brittany are already talking about selling it right after we getting it
What the fuck is wrong with you?
and ordering one with a white interior.
And wait another 10 years?
Yeah, pretty much. I wanted the white interior, but I was terrified with kids. I'm like, they'll destroy that. But then I've researched it a little bit more, and you can get coatings put on those seats that literally make them stain proof.
That's dope.
And so I was like, I didn't know that, but it's too late for me to change my order, which I wouldn't think it would be because it's not even been built yet. But
It's fucking, they're cool, man.
They're
You just
awesome.
type shit in and it'll just take you. They're
Yeah.
creepy.
they're badass.
What, there's a car leaving. That's not an F-35. What is the next thing then? What are we, so do you want to do film? You want to talk about film stuff?
Yeah.
Or do you want to talk about cop stuff? Do you want to talk about, what do you want to talk about?
Okay, let's talk about film stuff.
Let's talk. So how do you get into film? What made you want to get into that?
So
Are you just an artsy guy, and you got into it and love it?
Well, yeah. And it was something I never thought I would get into. If you had asked me 10 years ago and told me I'd have thousands of dollars worth of camera gear, I'd be like, no, no way. So I love YouTube. Like I watch YouTube all the time. Sorry, boss, if you're listening to this. But I watch it all the time. And there's
Not at work.
Yes, exactly. Good call. There is a guy named Casey Neistat. You heard of Casey Neistat?
Mm-mm.
You heard of him? Yeah. He's big. He's a big player on YouTube. He does vlogs. He's kind of one of the original gangsters of doing vlogs. Vlogs are kind of overdone now, in my opinion, so because everybody and their dog is doing it. And if you don't live an exciting lifestyle, nobody really gives a shit what you're doing during your day.
Right. Saturated.
He is the kind of guy who has money because he's big on YouTube, and he reviews products, and he does a lot of stuff that just your average person doesn't have the financial means to do. So people watch that, right? Because they want to see lifestyles that they envy. That's why they go and watch them. They don't watch people with boringer lifestyles on their own.
Right.
Go after them. Anyway, I started watching Casey because he did a lot of things about drones and stuff that I'm interested in. He did reviews and stuff, which I've actually met Casey. I've got a photo with him. I bumped into him in Park City a couple years ago. It was pretty sweet.
Damn.
Yeah, it was cool. But I liked the vibe. I was like, this is cool. He's just filming shit. He films B-roll. He kept me captivated. He's a really good filmmaker. And he's a filmmaker aside from that anyway. Him and his brother did some YouTube or some HBO stuff years ago. And he was a filmmaker before he went to YouTube. Anyway, so I was like, I want to try some of that. So I got it, tried it, and then just really started enjoying the art of movie making. And I was fascinated with the background, like the behind the scenes, and how you can cut things together and make it look seamless.
Like that commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can cut everything together and make it seamless. So whenever I do, I did a product video for a company called Vorshear out of Utah County. They make overlanding camp trailers, like stuff that can go off road, and they're just little self-contained things. And shoot with 2 angles, so you can always cut things out, but it looks seamless to the viewer. That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
adding B-roll to help tell the story. I just kind of fell in love with that whole process. And then once again, like my beer brewing hobby is just
all in.
Viral. That my wife puts up with a lot.
All in.
I hear a lot of people be like, "Oh, my wife likes to spend money," and I'm like, my wife is like frugal as hell.
She has to be.
She wears. Okay, we're both almost 40. She still wears shoes she had in high school.
So you can have a camera.
Yeah. So like, like she texted me the other day and she's like, "I bought a heater for my office. Is that cool?" And I'm like, "Holy shit! You don't have to ask me." I'm like, look at my arms. I have a one wheel and I just ordered a new one wheel. I'm like, like my camera. I'm like, don't ask me about your $100 heater. Like, yes, that's
absolutely.
Even if it wasn't okay, yes, it is okay.
Yes,
because I have no room to talk.
And you like heat.
Yes, and I like heat. That is true. So, yeah, I gotten crazy with it. I love doing it. I was telling Jay and I was telling you guys that, like, no shit, I'm actually currently working on storyboarding a documentary that we want to do here.
Yes.
And I want to do it something, I want the basis of it to be how tattooing and getting tattooed truly is an addiction. Because I always heard that for years, and I was always like, well, I mean, I can see how heroin's an addiction, and I can see how alcohol is an addiction, but I was like, I just couldn't get the tattoo thing.
It's fascinating.
I was like, how is that an addiction? Until I experienced it. So the premise of the basis of it is going to be just like the ink addiction. In fact, I'm even been thinking about calling it the ink addiction, is because
that's dope.
Because of that. And I mean, naturally, I'm going to come do it here because you guys are fucking awesome, and your
Hell
place
yeah.
is fucking awesome.
And we'll have smoke in here.
Yes, and it's such a cool like aesthetic in not only in this room but in your studio.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. So big plans for that. But
yeah.
all this stuff takes so much time to push through. But yeah, we've documentaries are big. Like I love doing docs.
Oh, they're cool, dude.
I've done a very little amount of like narrative work or like fiction stuff. And mainly because I don't want to go track down actors and try to, and I can't pay anybody anything. It's all just hobby. Well, when it comes to that kind of stuff, it's just hobby. So I don't want to pay. And, but it's tricky because like we went to Hawaii a couple of years ago. It was my family, my mom and my dad, my sister and her family. We all went to Hawaii, and I naturally took my drone, my cameras, everything with me. And I was trying to make some cool B-roll, some cool cinematic stuff down there. But then I found out at that trip that it slows everybody down. So because they're all like, "Oh, let's go here, let's go here." I'm like, "Hold on, I gotta get
shot.
This. Yeah, let me get my drone out." And everybody's like, "Holy shit, dude! Like, we want to keep moving forward and not wait for you at every opportunity for a shot."
That videoing is so cool too.
And I'm like, "Dude, we're in Hawaii. I can't just come back tomorrow and get it."
Right.
And so I learned on that trip that when I do filmmaking, I almost rather do it by myself, because then when I stop because, dude, I'll do this number where, like, I set the camera up and I go buy it. Then I come back, turn it around the other way, and go buy it again. So when I cut them together, it looks seamless. Like, and it drives people nuts when I do that. Like,
all this takes so much time.
Yes. Like, I'll go into my airplane seat and I'll set my camera down, and then I'll walk back, and then I'll walk towards it again. So it gets that angle of me coming at it.
You're a natural actor.
Yeah. So and it drives everybody around me crazy. and a lot of people are like, "Oh no, it's okay." And I'm like, "No, it would piss me off if I didn't understand what I was doing. I'd be like, let's go."
Yeah, it makes it quality too, right?
Yeah. And if you put shit content up, you're not gonna get anywhere,
right?
And you're not gonna improve.
Absolutely. That fucking squatters thing was gorgeous, bro.
It turned out super good. And I mean, just in that.
What's that tattoo one? While you tell more of that, can he pull up that one?
Yeah, it's on my.
Look at this.
Let me check I think it's on my.
Is that doable?
Oh yeah, it's on my YouTube.
You're talented, dude, man.
Thanks, man.
It's cool. Like I love those little short documentary clips.
So if you go to my YouTube channel, go to High Gravity Adventures, and you'll have to scroll through it because it was a couple years ago.
Or whatever your favorite one is. That's the one I seen.
Yeah.
That grabbed me.
So that's me. So if you go down,
you got stuff, bro.
Yeah. Let's see. I did another hot pricing video, but that one's.
What's all the money, baby?
Oh yeah, it's clickbait. I don't even remember what that one's about.
Damn.
Here, hold on. That car one right there.
Far left.
Right there. Yeah. So let me tell you a story about this video. So there's a company. Well, they're no more, but they were a local company in Roy. He is a multi-millionaire. He's a guy named Alan Hall. He's a guy named Alan Hall, and he started. You guys know Market Star in Ogden?
No.
It's a big glass building at 25th. And
Oh, yeah.
He started that company.
Okay.
He sold it. He's an entrepreneur. He sold it and made a lot of money. Well, then he started this other company that's called, he called it Ornata Motors. And basically what he did is he went to Factory 5 Racing, which makes kit cars, and he would buy a kit, 1965 Shelby Cobra, and he'd find rich guys that were like, yeah, I want the, because if you buy a real one, you're talking a ton of money. Okay. So he'd find these rich guys and be like, these rich guys are like, I don't want to build it. I'm not going to go in my garage and build it, but I want it. So you build it to these custom specs, and then I buy it from you for $130,000. Damn. And it was a startup. And so I went to him, and I was just trying to get content. Like I was just trying to get portfolio stuff.
Like you did with Squad, like you just approach people.
Yeah. And I was like, I won't even charge you. This is a cool product. I want to work with you guys on this. And like, I won't even charge you. And he's like, cool. All right. Yeah. So he gave me, one of my very close friends, and his wife and my wife 2 of these cars. And he sent us, like, see you in a few days.
Have fun.
Yeah. And it was fun. And we made over like 2.5 days, we shot this commercial. And it was pretty tricky. And I almost got myself in a little bit of trouble too.
Not you.
Yeah, not me.
So can we play it?
Yeah, play the video.
Is it key time play?
Yeah, it's play.
How long ago did you make it? How long ago was this?
Like 2 years, 3 years.
Is this him?
Yeah.
The guy?
No, that's my buddy.
Jesus fucking Christ, look at that car. Dude, that's beautiful. All the old knobs and switches still.
Oh, yeah.
That Monty?
No,
Trappers?
Snow Basin.
Snow Basin. Oh, dope.
See, he saw the chicks. And
He's like, yo.
He's like, I'm going back.
I bet I can catch her.
Look at it. Off goes the tie.
That dropped dope.
Yeah. So
how fast are them fucking cars?
They were fast.
Bro, they move?
Yeah, they move fast.
Yeah.
They were good.
That's
time.
cool, man.
But yeah, we went. So that was the Snow Basin Road.
Okay.
Did like 2.5 days in like 100-degree weather. Just
you love the
down.
100-degree weather.
And a lot of, obviously I did a lot of drone shots, but then like I was sitting in the back of a minivan for like one of the shots where the cars like were like right there. We had the hatch of the minivan up, and I was hanging out while my 10-year-old was holding onto my belt. And we
Jesus
falling out, and like I'm trying to get these shots with my gimbal. Yeah, it was
all that work for that. Damn, bro,
dude. And I think I put 80 hours of editing into that probably. And yeah, and it was on their website for the whole time they were in business, and then the business failed, and so then
gotcha.
That was that. But
that's a beautiful commercial.
But like right at the beginning where he's walking away from the airplane, so we knew we wanted that shot, and so we were thinking, where can we find an airplane? I mean, I don't know anybody with a plane, so I was like, where are we gonna find a plane? So we got this idea, and over at Hill Air Force Base, their museum, on the outside, like at the museum, but it's outside, is I think it was President Johnson's Air Force One, like Lear. It's not a Lear jet, but it's like a small jet like that. And we're like, hey, maybe we could use that. And we're like, how are we going to get away with this? And we're like, I do a lot of rogue filmmaking. I just go rogue. And I'm like, okay, I got this idea. So we go over to the museum, And I got my camera and my gimbal, but I'm just trying to like downplay what
Low
it
key.
is. And the guy at the front's like, "What's that for?" I'm like, take some photos, And you can see he was suspicious as hell. And then a few minutes later, we're like, "Hey, can you let us outside? I want to get a photo of him in front of Air Force One." And he's like, "Why?" And my buddy's like, just to hang on my desk. It's cool. Stand in front of Air Force One, and the guy's like, "Okay." So he opens up the door, and we're like, "Cool, thanks." And he doesn't follow us out. He walks back in. So we're kind of like looking around, and I'm like, "Okay, get up to the plane. Get up to the plane quick." And I'm like, and we were going to do it in a way so you couldn't see the Air Force One because that wouldn't make any sense at all in the video.
Yeah.
We just wanted it to be a plane. So I keep walking backwards. We do several takes. All of a sudden, like 3 dudes come out. And they're like, "Hey." And I'm like, "Oh, shit, what?" They're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, yeah, I didn't have anything. I was like, I don't. He's like, "You're taking video out here, aren't you?" And I'm all, and he's like, "Don't lie to me." And I'm like thinking, "Oh, I'm screwed. Like, this is a federal thing. Like, I'm in big trouble now." And the guy's like, "You guys lied to us coming in." And he's like, "Now you're out here filming Air Force One." He's like, "I don't give a shit if it's an old one."
Holy fuck.
And I'm like, "Oh, we are fucked." And he's like, "If you so much as put that on social media," he's like, "the feds are going to be knocking on your door." He's like, "Don't even think about doing this shit. And you pissed me off that you lied to me." And me and him were like, "Oh, shit. Okay, sorry." So we walked out. And we were like at our
He just let you go?
Yeah, they just let us go.
Just delete it.
Dude, yeah. I was like, done. I'll delete it. So we walk outside. And I'm like, we're on a deadline. And I'm like, dude, we got to have something like right now. Like, we have to have something right now. Where the fuck are we going to find a plane right now? And he's like, "I don't know." And I says, "Okay, I've got an idea."
Another idea.
I had another idea. So out in West Haven, there's Bowman and Kemp still. You guys know that place?
No.
Yeah, Bowman and Kemp.
In West Haven?
Yeah, just right on 1900, right by Moore's Restaurant.
Okay.
Across the street, Bowman and Kemp still. When my dad was in construction, he dealt with Brett Kemp all the time for the still. And I knew Brett Kemp, who owned the place. And I was like, Brett Kemp was into planes. And Brett Kemp has a hangar out at Ogden Airport. And I'm like, hold on. So I get on the phone, couldn't get an answer. And I'm like, dude, fuck it. Let's just drive over to Ogden Airport. So we drive over there and we go over to Kemp's little like hangar. And they've got like their TSA guys and stuff. And I'm like, this is what we've got going. I know Brett. I mean, I know you guys don't know me from Adam, but like, do you guys have an airplane that we can get this shot of him walking away from? And I was like, can you guys let us do that? And they're like, yeah, that should probably be okay. And I'm all, second question, can we bring the car back there, like on the tarmac? And he's all, let me make a phone call. So a minute later, he's like, fuck it, let's do it. I'm like, no shit. So we drove back there and got all those shots. And the guy who owned that plane, we don't know who it is.
Right.
So it's just some dude's airplane.
That's cool.
And so we got him walking away from it. Yeah, and it worked out good. But I thought we were like fucked.
Yeah, that's trippy, bro.
Yeah, that scared the shit. And at the time, I was a police officer.
Yeah, I'm saying you're
like, there goes my job.
It's the best.
I wasn't asked. Why don't you just pull that card? Why
That's
don't you
the
just bring
best
your badge?
part of all of this.
That's the worst part is I think if I would have said something, then I'd been like, I'm making a fucking phone call.
I'm
You're
gonna turn
chief.
this up real quick right here. Keep going.
Yeah, so it was like I didn't know what to do, and I'm like my intentions were completely innocent, and it's like we're just making a fun little commercial.
Yeah.
But apparently the feds, when it involves Air Force One, they don't give a damn about your fun little commercial.
What's been your favorite project so far?
That one has been probably one of my funnest ones. Definitely the squatters one that I did. Well, anything with squatters has been so much fun because they pay me, and a lot of the time we work out a deal where they pay me in beer, like we split it, which they all love. But then I'm going to tell you one of my favorite ones. And Junior, this is the story we mentioned earlier. Okay. So I'm working on another documentary. So I've got a close friend named Sean. We've been close for a long, long time. Back in 2003, he enlisted in the Marine Corps, and before he left, like weeks before he left, and we were 20 years old at the time. Before he left, we're like, hey, let's go out to Vernon, Utah, which is out past Tooele. It's like out by Dugway, kind of middle of nowhere.
Oh yeah,
but it's good for rabbit hunting, and we like to rabbit hunt. And I was like, let's go out there and do some rabbit hunting. So before you go, he's like, cool. So we load up our shotguns. Well, we had this camp trailer. Now, when I say it's a camp trailer, you remember like the campers that go in the back of the truck that aren't like the over the cab kind. They're more just a glorified camper shell. Okay, so we bought one off KSL for like $100. Like, it was a shit box, but it was meant for a full-size truck. So we bought a little like 4-wheeler trailer and strapped it like with ratchet straps onto this little trailer. And so we're like, all right. And then we bought that weeks earlier, but then I ended up buying a full-size truck shortly before we went on this trip. Anyway, we just left it on the trailer. So we go out to Vernon, and we go out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like some shitty like Forest Service road, like nowhere, nobody to be seen. And we're like, let's just go to the top of this hill, and we'll set up camp. So we drive up this hill, and it was like a rocky hill. So it was like, 4-wheel drive, bouncing around. You hear everything clanking, tools clanking. And we had this 4-wheeler in the back of the truck. And we get to the top of this hill. Like, cool. Unhook the trailer. We unload the 4-wheeler. And then we hook the trailer back up just for stability and all that. And in this little trailer was like 2 little things. I don't even think you could call them beds on opposite sides. It had an ice box. It had a little like stove. And like that was it. Like that's all that was in it. It was one of those old shitty campers where like the doorknob like never really worked, So we're out rabbit hunting that day, and we come back, and when we get back, we go inside and we're hanging out, just chit-chatting. Well, it had curtains, so you could kind of see light through them, but not like definition through them. Well, we heard that classic sound of late 90s era Ford door with the push button.
Yeah, the
square.
thumb.
We hear, and that's like a classic sound.
Click.
Yeah.
Makes a funky click.
We heard that, and we're like, the fuck was
Nobody's
that?
out here.
Nobody's out there. We kind of look at each other, and we look at the window, and the light in the truck is on. Like
so it's dark.
It's like middle of the night. And the light of the cab light inside the truck comes on like it does with the door. And right then we're like, somebody's fucking trying to steal shit. Like, who the hell's here?
Especially that far away from everybody. That's creepy as fuck.
And going up that hill, dude, you heard us from a mile away.
That's creepy.
We're like, what the fuck? All of a sudden, boom, door shuts. We look at each other, grab our shotguns. We're just start loading up shells. We're like, something's fucking going on, and this isn't good. All of a sudden, right behind my head on the window, I had another little window behind my head. Boom, 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 boom on the window. I go shooting over to his side, and we've got our shotguns up with it. And at this point, we're like, one of our buddies is out here fucking with us. But then we're like, who the hell is going to drive 2 hours and actually
out there, dude,
and actually find us? We're like, this is impossible.
Oh my god,
we're shitting our pants, and we're like, okay, what do we do? So we're like, well, let's just stay in here armed because
you whispering and shit.
Oh yeah. And dude, we're 20-year-old kids. I mean,
scared to death.
We're terrified, and so we're like, well, we got shotguns. At least we have that in our favor. So we're sitting there, we're pointing them at the door. And all of a sudden we see the doorknob start moving.
Fucking.
And we're like, oh, here we go. So I give him the nod, and I boot the door from like a sitting position because you couldn't stand up in it. While the knob's moving, I boot the door. It swings open. And dude, that door wasn't even all the way open, and Sean's unloading his shotgun.
Shooting.
Boom, boom, like right through the opening door. And this was like while the knob was still moving, we kicked that door. And so as soon as he runs dry, I slide over and just start unloading. And we're in the trailer still.
Nobody's seen nothing. You just start unloading.
We do, yeah, because I'm like, you're obviously breaking into
Oh,
it.
fuck,
Yeah,
100%.
you're going downtown. So
Holy
boom,
shit.
boom, boom, boom. And he's reloading while I'm shooting. Finally, I get loaded back up, and we go popping out. It's pitch-ass black outside. And we're looking on the ground. We're looking all over. We're all, what the fuck? So he fires up his 4-wheeler, and I get on the back of it. And while we're driving around, I'm just recklessly just boom, boom in every direction. Because I'm like, if someone's out here, I want them to think there's a fucking army here.
Right.
So we're just blasting and blasting and blasting. And we drove all over hell for like an hour. Went through hundreds of shells and nothing. Not a thing. So we go back to the trailer, and somehow we fall back asleep. We're able to go to sleep. And we wake up the next morning, and I'm like, we're going to find a carcass. Somebody's bleeding out. And they crawled away because that doorknob was wiggling when you pulled that trigger. Like, someone's out here dead. We scoured that place for hours. Didn't see a trace, not a tire mark, not anything. Okay. So every time we've told this story, people are like, you guys were out there drinking. Because me and him have a history of heavy intoxication. And I'm like, dude, we were 20. We weren't, I mean, we didn't have drink. We weren't drinking out there. That was not happening. To this day, we've talked about it. We've told the story. When Sean went in the Marines, and he has told every Marine from here to hell this story himself.
Fucking weird.
And so, yeah, we to this day didn't know
nothing.
Didn't know nothing. And so after I started doing filmmaking stuff, we just got the idea. We're like, let's make a doc about this. So we've got the doc partially filmed. But this is the thing. We're gonna go back out there to the spot with a camp trailer, and we're gonna.
What if it happens again?
We're gonna see if it happens again.
And nobody's out there.
But here's the crazy thing about it though. We actually went back the next summer to the same spot. But we had AR-15. Well, he had an AK-47. I had an AR-15 because that's how I hunt rabbits is, with AR-15s.
Multiple choices.
Yes. So we were out there at the exact same spot. Well, down below, you can see the road. It kind of, the dirt, like Forest Road comes around and, and it's maybe 200 yards away, 300 yards away maybe. Well, it's middle of the night and we got a campfire going and we hear a truck coming down the road. And we're like, not thinking much of it. I mean, clearly they're going to be able to see us because we have a campfire. And you can hear it's teenagers or young people. They're hooting and hollering in the back of a truck, drunk as shit, I'm sure. And they come around and they stop down at the bottom of the hill. And we're like, what the fuck? What do they want? Like, we're okay to be here. And then we hear a gunshot. And we see impact right by us.
This is in the dark, too?
Yeah, this is in the dark.
Jesus.
And right then we're like, oh, fuck, no, motherfuckers. So we grab our rifles and we just start unloading in their direction. And it had to have sounded, we burned through 60 rounds in a second and a half. I mean, we just unloaded on their vehicle. Like I said, they're far enough away. We're not like aiming. We're just like from the hip.
Trying to scare them, get them out of there.
And it worked. They shot a few more times, and then they tore off out of there.
They just shot up at you? Well,
yeah, for no damn reason. They just fired around us, and we saw it impact in the dirt by us. And so, we just unloaded, and we're like, there's no way.
And you want to go back to this place?
Yeah, so we're going to go back to this place.
I fucking going. And then
we're excited.
No field trip.
No, we're excited to see what happens next.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
And I wonder what that first one, that's creepy as hell.
Yeah, to this day, we don't know what it is. And I'm not a believer in ghosts. But I don't know. We have no explanation for it. So we've been looking into, like the Skinwalker Ranch stuff. And we're like, something happened. We both saw it. We both have the same account of it. We've told the story hundreds of times and we don't have any answers. And so, we're like, let's do a documentary. Let's see if we can figure this out.
How aren't you deaf? I just think about being in this small little confined place with shotgun rounds going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, did
it hit the trailer and shit and fucking tear up shit or
no, didn't do anything. Didn't do anything to the trailer. So apparently the door was open enough to where the buckshot was able to go through.
It's loud as fucking there.
But you get, when you're in that kind of situation, you get that auditory exclusion. I don't even remember hearing the shots. I mean, we were terrified. I had fucking tunnel vision.
Oh yeah,
but dude, now let me tell you one more story that involved this trailer. This is awesome. I almost died this night.
That wasn't almost dying? Okay.
This is even almost dying.
Let's hear that one.
So not long after that, me and a different buddy, we hooked up to the trailer, and we drove up to Thane, Wyoming. And just on a whim. Or like, let's go up there and go camping and fishing. It was in October. So we get up there, and we get to a location that I've been to a lot of times right by the river. And we're like, where should we park and set up camp, quote. So we see this little pathway that goes up into kind of like a dead end where some trees are. And I'm like, that's a nice little spot. So I pull my truck in there forward. So the only way out was to back out. I pulled it in there. We got out, and we're kind of, getting in the trailer. And it was cold as hell because it was up in Wyoming in October. And my heater wasn't working. Like, my furnace wasn't working. And I'm like, it had like a little ghetto furnace. But this little camper thing was like 1 million years old. So I had another idea. I was like, too cold outside. So we get inside, and I'm like, I've got an idea. Let's just turn on the stove, and that'll heat this tiny little place up in no time. So we're sitting in there and turn it on. We're cold. And, it's getting warm, and we hear this noise, and we're like, what the fuck is that? And I can't even remember what the noise was, but it was a noise. And I'm like, that isn't a normal noise.
It didn't fit.
It didn't fit. And my buddy was like, fuck it, dude. Let's just get warm. It's cold. Let's just get warm. I'm like, okay, if that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. And I keep hearing this noise. And I'm like, no. I'm like, something is definitely not right.
You can feel it.
And I can feel in my bones that we should probably deal with this. But, I mean, it was like well below freezing outside. And I'm like, fuck, it's too cold. I don't want to get out there. Well, I learned that propane is heavier than air. I didn't know that at the time. The noise we were hearing was propane leaking from somewhere, and it was filling up from the floor. And all that time we were sitting in there getting warm. Well, all of a sudden, I see a little flare up by the stove. And it flared up again, and I'm like, oh, fuck, get out. And before I could finish that word, the camper exploded. It blew up.
You guys were both out of the fucking thing, though.
We were in it.
You were inside it?
We were in it. And I will never forget that because it, right as I said, oh, fuck, get out. Boom. It just explodes. And like I said, it had these little windows in it. It was like all it had, like these tiny little windows. Well, I remember diving for this door that, remember earlier I told you it didn't work very well?
They actually shot a hole through the fucking thing. I'm just kidding.
I know. No, and the door didn't work very well. So I remember diving for the door, and I could feel the fire on my eyes. And I closed my eyes, and I'm just boom, 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 boom. Finally, I just plow it with my shoulder, and we go piling out, me and him both. And we sit up. I sit up, and I look at him, and he's on fire.
Fuck me, dude.
So, like, I'm diving on him. I'm, like, putting him out. I'm ripping his coat off. And he looks up at me, and his hair is gone, and his eyebrows are gone, and his goatee's gone, but they're smoking. And I'm like, holy fuck. And I look over the trailer, and it's on fire. Like, it's on fire. And right then I'm like, oh shit, my truck. We're still hooked up to my truck.
It's on, fuck yeah.
So we run up to the tongue and we flip we get the thing undone, and we were kind of at the top of a hill. So we both grab the tongue and we push it down this hill. Well, in the motion of doing so, like the inertia closed the door. And so it's bounding down this hill.
You just wanted to get rid of it.
I wanted it away from my truck. And sparks are flying as the tongue's hitting the ground. Well, it comes to rest, like, right underneath a pine tree. I'm like, oh.
Roman candle,
fuck.
here we come.
Yeah, so I was like, shit. Oh, shit. But the fire kind of died down. And I had seen, you remember that movie, Backdraft?
Yeah, I know, right where you're going.
So my buddy's graduation gift, which was a Browning 40, was in the trailer. And he's like, dude, I got to get that gun out. And I'm like, dude. I saw
it was in the trailer?
Yeah, I was in it. And I was like, I've seen the movie Backdraft. If you open that fucking door,
open that door,
it's going to blow. Well, yeah, I was like,
I've seen the movie.
Yeah, dude.
Get the 12 gauge.
Yeah. So I was like, don't open the door. Well, we're on the phone with 911. And I had been drinking a little bit, and I was underage. And he was like 5 years older than me, so he was of age. So he's panicked. He's like, I'm going to lose my career.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
And I'm like, so I did the whole penny in the mouth trick, which doesn't work. It just put a nasty...
Just having a cop say that, by the way.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Don't waste your time. It does not work. So, but I didn't know it at the time. So I had a penny in my mouth, and so we're on the phone with 911, and I can see the highway from where we're at. And I'm like telling them, I'm like, we are at the divide. Like, come on, you guys have got to know where this is. Well, they go every fucking direction but where we were at.
You can see them.
I can see them. I'm like, turn. So anyway, they finally turn, and they get to us. Well, the firefighters drag their hose out, and they go up to the trailer and open the door, and it boom blows up. It goes up again. I looked at my buddy. I'm like, I fucking told you. You'd have been on fire again.
Were they okay?
Yeah.
Everybody's okay?
Everybody's good.
Jesus.
So they put the trailer out. They hose it all down. They got it put out. And there by the door is a half-drank case of Coors Light. And we're like, fuck. And my buddy's panicked. He's like, I'm fucked. I'm going to jail. I'm fucked. And the firefighters are like, well, at least the beer kind of survived. We're like, yeah.
We should have one.
Yeah, we should have one. Anyway, they all were like, well, you guys need a hotel? And we're like, yeah, we'll just go into town and get a hotel. So we hooked the trailer back up to my truck, drove into town, and went to the hotel.
Your buddy didn't need help? It just smoked his hair off.
Yeah, just smoked his hair off. He looked, his coat was like melted on the ground, but he didn't get hurt.
Damn, dude, you guys are, how many fucking lives you got?
Dude, seriously. So, and I took photos the next day of the trailer, and I've been searching for them for years, and I can never find
the
them.
old school tangible photos?
Yeah, film photos, and nobody knows where the hell they are, but... Anyway, so then we took that to the dump at Layton, and that was the end of that trailer.
It sounds cursed.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was a.
Dude, propane's scary.
Propane is scary.
Anybody with trailers, oh my God, be careful with propane.
Yep, it is heavier than air. Just always remember that.
It does goofy shit when it gets cold and hot. Yep. It does weird stuff. I don't know why they don't get a different thing for that. But
yeah, and if you hear a weird sound, deal with it.
yeah, propane will fucking hurt people.
Oh, yeah.
Did he get his gun?
Yeah, he did, and he sent it into Browning, and it was too damaged. They couldn't fix it. It messed up with the temper on the barrel or something, but they sent it back to him, and they're like, it's just
don't shoot it.
Yeah, they're like, don't shoot it.
It's a mantle gun.
Yep, it's just for looks now. So that was kind of a bummer. But yeah, that was a wild experience.
There's another movie. You can make a movie with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, yeah, some crazy things that happened with that.
I never had nothing fucking that fun in my. That's fucking insanity.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts, and that was like I said, all that shit happened with that trailer in a matter of like a couple of months.
That's cursed, bro.
Yeah, or well, I guess about a year.
Was cursed.
Time, yeah.
So no more of this.
No,
you're not doing that no more.
No, I'm done with that shit.
But you're gonna go back down to Vernon.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to Vernon
with a different trailer.
We're gonna rent one, and we're gonna go see what happens.
I don't think that's a good idea.
No, it's a horrible idea.
I really think it's a bad idea.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea.
Okay, so do it. That makes sense.
So yeah,
what is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's yes. It's sort of like getting tattoos on my hand at a job where you can't have tattoos.
Touche.
Yeah,
touche.
Yeah, so it was a wild experience.
Where in the middle of all this, you're like, hey, let's start a coffee shop.
Yeah. So okay,
Kaysville. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I work in Kaysville as a cop at the moment, and I've been doing that there. And I've been doing it for 10 years. Been doing it in Kaysville for a little over 2. And there's no good coffee places in Kaysville, given the predominant.
There isn't, huh?
And it's the predominant religion, I think, is why everybody's looked at that as not a market. So I was
trying to think of one.
So they're just across the border in Layton. There's a Beans and Brews, but once again, I'm not big on the corporate.
Yep.
And then there's Kaysville has a Starbucks, but it's built into the Smith, so you got to park and walk inside.
Those are a pain in the ass.
They're a pain in the ass.
They're hard.
And I don't support anything that Starbucks stands for. Like, they're not my thing, and it's corporate. I like finding the little guys. That makes the biggest difference.
So you made the little guy.
So, well, what had happened was I was like, I am tired of not having coffee in Kaysville, but I'm really tired because I was on Graves. I was like, I'm really tired of not having coffee at night. Like, there's nowhere.
Oh, yeah, everything's closed.
And I will say it. I am too good to go to 7-Eleven. I won't do it.
That doesn't say anything about the coffee.
No, I'm above 7-Eleven's coffee. I drink beers that are like $8 a can. So I don't drink 7-Eleven coffee. I don't like it. It's cheap. And once again, it's corporate. It's not local.
Right.
So I'm not doing it. And 7-Eleven gives cops free coffee.
Just saying.
And I still wouldn't do it. So
you get a donut too.
I do like donuts.
They do give you a donut.
No, they don't give us donuts though.
Fucking bastards.
Only coffee. Only coffee and soda.
Not to take you off of the story about the coffee shop, but what is the thing about donuts and
no
and
shit.
cops? What is that thing?
Question.
It's as old as time.
It is. And when I was a new cop, I was like, oh, I'm going to change that stigma. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good without the donut. And then as soon as they'd turn around, I'd be like, fucking grab that donut. I was trying to change it. Now I just embrace it. I'm like, dude, yeah.
It is a thing. It's such a thing.
Yeah, it is.
It's strange.
It is a thing.
Yeah, sorry to take you off.
No, that's fine.
No, it's strange. It's weird. It's
so
a weird
anyway,
one.
I was tired of not having coffee anywhere. And so I was telling my wife, and we had bounced the idea of a coffee shop around for a few years, but nothing serious. And so I was telling my wife, I was like, I got an idea. I mean,
that's your worst thing you always say, by the way, just so you know.
Oh yeah,
you've said it a lot, and it scares me.
I
have an idea.
Yes, it's a terrible start.
Everybody around Brett, when you hear that, run.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It's horrendous.
I had to derail that. Sorry.
Yes, but it's a fact.
It's
really
beautiful.
Is. So sort of like when I had the idea to get a tattoo,
and just run a coffee shop and be a filmer, and
So I was like, somebody needs to open a damn coffee shop, because I need coffee in the middle of the night and during the day. We need it here. I don't have anywhere to go. And Beans and Brews, while they're not Beans and Brews, up on the highway, Grounds for Coffee. They're up, but they're too far. So when I'm on duty, if I go that far and shit hits the fan in Kaysville, that's a long way for me to go. My response time's gonna be shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just can't go that far. So it needed to be somewhere close. So I decided, fuck it, let's just do it. We've been talking about it. Now's the time. This is like a perfect excuse. So in a way, it was started solely because I wanted coffee in the middle of the night.
I love that.
Yeah. And so the $50,000 cup of coffee is the most expensive cup of coffee I've ever bought in my life.
So you get a trailer.
Yeah. Yeah. So
you buy this badass trailer.
Yes. It's like a concession.
Have you seen this setup? It's dope.
It's not the same trailer, right?
You swing by it?
No,
that one blew up.
Yeah, that
if you never swung by Kaysville Coffee, check it out.
So
it's not the burned up one.
We get our ducks in a row. We make sure we structure it correctly and get our LLC and our insurances and all this stuff. And then we thought, well, do we want to do a brick and mortar or do we want to do more of a mobile? Well, you look at like food trucks and you can spend $100,000 on a food truck. And so I'm like, okay, that might not work. So we start looking at the trailer thing. Well, we get in contact. Well, at the same time, we're trying to find a coffee supplier. We're like going to different coffee roasteries, trying their stuff. And there was a guy named Darren. He owns Wasatch Roasting. And we'd heard good things. And so I went and talked to him and kind of told him what we were doing. And we did a taste test and all that. And we're like, dude, your stuff is killer. Like, we love, like, he personally will fly to like Peru to these farms and like personally watches how the process is done there before he picks their farm to get their beans from. Like, it's cool as hell how he does it.
Hell yeah.
He's an think if I can say this right, anthropologist.
Anthropologist?
Yeah, with the Forest Service.
Okay.
So he's kind of in the science field anyway, but we liked him. We liked the way he did things. He was a local guy. He lives in South Ogden. Great, super great guy. And he's like, hey, are you guys still looking for like a truck or trailer? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, I have one and I'm moving into a food truck. Like, we're ready to expand into a truck for our coffee. Because he has his store, but he wanted something for like farmers markets. And that's what he'd been using his trailer for. So we bought his trailer and we bought it like equipped. Because like both sides open up, the little trays fold down. You've probably seen
It's cool.
Yeah. It's got a built-in like sink and cabinets and
it's a full
cupboard
thing.
It's a full like kitchen.
It's full.
Yeah. So we bought that with an espresso machine, a fridge, a coffee grinder, a kegerator. Like, it was all equipped, and we bought it as a package, and I stripped all of his wrap off of it, and then we had our own decals put on it, and we thought, we don't want to be mobile. Like, this isn't something I'm going to move around, because with coffee, I felt like when I want my coffee, I want to know where I can get it. I don't want to do this, like, pull up their app, where are you going to be today, bullshit. I was like, no, coffee's a different animal. You want it every day at the same place. You know, when you pull up there, it's there. So I was like, we're just going to try this just to keep overhead down. Because I looked up a place, a brand new building that had been built in Kaysville with a drive-through. That was another thing. We had to have a drive-through. And they wanted like $4,000 a month to lease it. And I'm like, oh, dude, absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
I was like, absolutely not. I mean, brand new business. No, not going to happen. So when we went this route, we bought the trailer. And we made a deal with a local business over at Biker's Edge in Kaysville at 232 North Main. I'm going to plug that.
Hey-o.
And the owner, he agreed to let us park it there.
It's a sweet spot.
It is a sweet little spot.
Yeah, it works good.
A lot of the people that come in to buy bikes or have bikes worked on, they come and get coffee while they're waiting.
It's such a good idea.
Because coffee and biking is similar cultures.
It's perfect.
Yeah, and it worked out really good. And then I happen to know this guy we were running on generator power, which got really expensive really quick.
And it wouldn't run everything.
Because we had since upgraded our espresso machine to a 240 volt machine.
It's like a rocket ship.
Yes. And I happen to know this guy who offered to hook up my power into the Biker's Edge power. And the owner of the building was like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, hook it up. Do whatever you got to do. And this guy I know, and I believe he's sitting across the table from me.
I don't know.
I think you might know him. He was gracious enough to come out and do it for us. And that made like all the difference in the world, because no longer did we have to run on generator power.
God, and the stink and the noise.
It was terrible. And every day I'm
and those things are open. It's just creeping in, circulating and shit.
It just did not work. And so Junior was gracious enough to come over and help us convert a 120 outlet into a 240 outlet.
It was a project.
It was. Yeah, it was.
I loved it.
And
it was dope.
And it's not a hiccup. I've run my air conditioner, my espresso machine. I've run my fridges, my grinders, everything simultaneously.
Dope.
And a blender. And it still does. The lights don't even dim. Like,
fuck yeah.
It runs so good, and I owe it all to you. That was so awesome.
Not a problem, man.
Yeah.
Not at all.
It's all about who you know.
Cade calls me and he's like, what he was talking, they got brought up, like, so it's really hot in this trailer. Like, can you turn on brake? Because it wouldn't run the fucking air conditioner. Yeah. So they couldn't do, my boy worked for you.
Yes,
Cade.
yes, he did.
So he's like, man, it's hot in here. He's like, what? how do you like work breakers and shit? You just had it. I'm like, I don't know if that's how it all started.
Right.
So we came and hardwired it so you could run everything at once.
Yeah, and we can run everything. And at night we have heaters in there with
cool.
thermostats on it. So like right now in Kaysville, what is it? I don't know, 20 something degrees. It's 72 degrees in there right now.
How long does it stay open? What are your hours up there?
So we're every day of the week. Our Monday through Friday, we're 6:30 to 3. Saturday, we're 8 to 3. Sunday, we're 9 to 1. But we have hired a marketing lady because we've been trying, marketing is just a trial and error thing, and most things are error. Like I even had a billboard for a month, and it didn't do shit.
Really?
Yeah, it was one of those digital ones on the freeway, like right before the 200 North exit. And I was so excited. I designed the whole thing and everything, and it was cheap.
No hype though.
It just didn't. My revenue didn't change a bit. But then I shot a video of my coffee shop, just kind of a quickie through some fun little thing together, and then I boosted those ads on Facebook and Instagram. And since I've done that, our revenue's pretty much been double every single day.
Damn,
Not
bro.
doubling every day, but double from what it was, and stayed that much or thereabouts every day since I've done that. So we're finding a few things that work. Our marketing lady is doing some really killer behind the scenes stuff that is going to be launching like this week. So we're hoping to get into a brick and mortar. But the nice thing with doing it the way we are is there's a lot of small businesses that got wiped out from COVID. Like COVID just put them out of business.
Yeah.
We're kind of like immune to that. If COVID hit hard again and shut businesses down, I could push pause. And when COVID was over, I could hit play again and would be right back in action because I don't pay a lease. I don't pay a rent.
Yeah, it's the trailer. It's just that. Yeah.
And we own it. I mean, we own it. We own it all. So it's like I don't have to sit here and be like, how am I going to pay my $4,000 lease?
You just do your brick and mortar building and keep that for
Yes.
going down that way.
Yep. And for farmers markets and
And
stuff.
festivals and
Yes.
stuff. And
Weddings.
Yes.
Yes. See, now I wish I could get away with selling beer out of it.
Why can't you?
Kaysville.
Here I come, Hurricane.
Yeah.
Is Kaysville dry? It's not dry.
It's kind of.
Is it a dry county? Is there alcohol there?
Yeah. Yeah. Like you can go into the 7-Eleven and buy beer and
Okay.
all that. But, the new liquor store in Farmington?
Mm-hmm.
That was supposed to be next to Les Schwab in Kaysville.
Why didn't they do that?
Kaysville says nope.
Really?
Just once again, and I'm
It's an image, right? It's
It's
an upholding an image.
it's I know that, and I'm trying to say this to not offend anybody, but the facts are facts. The predominant religion in Kaysville, I would say, is LDS.
Yeah.
And I know that was a big factor in why they didn't want anything alcohol related there. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my opinion.
Or hand tattoos, or
Yes, they definitely don't like hand tattoos.
coffee, or
Yes, and it was funny how many people when we started the coffee shop were like so negative about it. They're like, "You're crazy! Like, do you know the religion in Kaysville?" And I'm like, "Do you know how many alcohol fueled domestics I go to in Kaysville? All the time." I'm like, "You can't." I was like, "Kaysville is a wonderful place, but." I was like, it's more than meets the eye. Like, there's more. They're normal people there.
it's not like there's no such thing as a bubble,
no,
right? It's not like this county's this way, city's this way, this city's that way. It's like there's people there,
right.
and people are people.
People are people, yeah, and we have got so much support, and like we have so many loyal customers that they're there every single day.
Yeah,
and like you look us up on Google, and we've got like a 4.9 review on Google.
it's like a hairstylist, a tattooer. You find a spot, you like it, you go back.
Yeah.
Coffee's like that.
Yes, exactly.
Coffee's totally like that.
Yeah.
Do you guys do everything? Can I get a hot, cold? Do you guys do chai?
Yep, all of the above. We have a menu.
You gotta see this fucking trailer, dude. It's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. We have a website too, kaysvillecoffee.com.
Hey yo,
It just launched.
let's do it.
Yeah, we sell merch now.
Do you have merch at the trailer?
Oh yeah.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
Where the fuck do you put it? You crazy fucker.
We have to get tricky. There's not a lot of room.
That thing is so like cool. It's
Yeah.
stacked full of it's
Yeah.
dope the way you have it set up in there.
Yes,
and it looks like a kitchen.
Yes, we have a walk-up side and a drive-through side. We have outdoor seating when it's warm. Oh, well, I mean, you can sit there too when it's cold, but
Yeah.
who wants to sit out in the cold? But see, there's our little shop. And we can do merch. We do hoodies. We do hats. We have Jade's dad doing it all. So
3031.
3031 Printing's doing all of our merch.
That's cool, man.
We've got
Where's your little video?
T-shirts coming.
Did you say you shot a video? Or
Yeah,
is it?
it's on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. It's not right there.
So it's not on our website, but Yeah, we do.
I've
we
had
do bagels, and we get those from a local baker in Kaysville. And they are.
Oh, you're doing bagels now too?
They're East Coast style bagels. She's fresh out of New Jersey. She just moved here, and she lives in Kaysville. And her bagels. See, there's our billboard right there.
Oh no shit! Look at that, bro.
Yeah, we're branching out. But yeah, Dre, to answer your question, we do hot chocolate, we do chais, we do lemonades.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Right there. That's art.
Yeah, we do. Our baristas are little artists, so they'll sit there and they'll draw on the cup. So when you get a cup, it's kind
Make
of
it
like
all
a custom
personal.
cup. Yeah, it's like a
Oh, look at that.
yeah,
Little dog, little cat.
Yeah, for Valentine's Day we gave out roses.
That's dope.
With coffee.
You're hitting the mark, man.
Look at that one right there.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that one.
What? Who did that? Look at that car right there.
Look at this.
Dre, look at that car. Pull it up. Can you see it? The Highline rig is right. Look at that. That's my car, baby. When was this? Oh, it's cute. Look at the Highline Tattoo Durango in front of
KCC.
That is so cute.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
when
I never seen that.
When she was there, I was like, "Don't move. I'm gonna grab a."
Yeah, dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and you boarded up for winter. You did the under the thing to keep it warm.
Yep. We did the skirting around it.
Yeah, dude, it looks sharp.
So it keeps
that looks
nice.
really, really sharp like that.
Thanks,
I like that.
Yeah, it works good. We just got a brand new. So that.
Oh, you got a fucking menu on it too.
But that menu is handwritten.
None of that was there.
And so
that's
Drake,
nice, bro.
Back out and go to the very top of my website, and you'll see that. Oh, can you go back one? Oh, you're still on our Instagram. Yeah, just go back to the actual website. Okay, right there where it says menu, click on that right there. And we just had a brand new menu printed and made, and that's hanging up in hanging up in there now.
That's in place of it.
But notice the not coffee section is Bishop approved.
Oh, it says it right on there.
Yeah.
I love that. Do you got any like fancy names that you've made up that you guys have created that are
like that?
Or is all of them like that?
No, some of them are. So like the electric sip, it's a
Victory.
It's a Red Bull drink, and it's really good. The sparkling sodas are similar to like an Italian soda, but the electric sip is kind of one we.
You have milk alternates.
Oh yeah,
you got all kinds of shit, bro.
Yeah, we got the bagels.
That's a full menu. That's cool, man. I didn't see all of that.
Yeah, it's been.
When we did the power, you were still just getting it rolling. You are going at it, man.
Dude,
that's cool.
If I'm not at the PD and I'm not doing something with film and video,
you're at that damn thing.
I'm there. I'm either there. Like I said,
that's cool.
As soon as I leave here tonight, I've got to run down there and take care of some stuff. Like it just never ends. Like no shit. Here a couple months ago, and I figured I knew what answer I would get, and it was the answer that I ended up getting. But I actually started researching if a person could become immune to sleeping. I actually looked into seeing if I could just somehow stop sleeping because I had so much to do. And I'm like, if I can go even like a week at a time without sleeping and then sleeping, and then I would do it because I don't have time for all this stuff.
You're fucking psycho.
Dude, yeah, I run myself ragged.
I love it, man.
Originally,
it's showing it.
You said that you started the coffee shop essentially because you were working graves, but you're not open overnight.
No. So I just go in there.
He can go in and make his damn self a cup of coffee.
Like on my car keys on my belt for like my police car, I have my key fob that just gets me in my car, and the only other two keys on that ring are for the hatch and for the front door of my shop. So I will go into my shop and I will fire up the whole shit and caboodle to make one latte.
Damn right.
And then I will turn it all off. And why?
Because it's yours.
I fucking can.
Because it's yours.
It's mine. I even have an Instagram photo of me at like 2 a.m. in front of my shop.
That's dope.
I'm like, the perks of owning a coffee shop.
You wanted it. You made it.
I made it. Yeah, we did it. And
there's a lot of cool things right there.
Oh yeah. And then Brittany, my wife, she was a respiratory therapist, and she quit this year, and she does the stay-at-home mom thing, which we just couldn't coordinate everything with our 3 kids without her doing that. And she does like payroll and taxes.
How many employees do you have?
We have 4 right now.
4?
Yep.
That's dope, man.
Yep. And we miss Cade.
I know.
We love Cade.
He's a good kid.
Dude, everybody loved Cade. You know how many times I'd be working and somebody would be like, dude, that kid you got here, you need to keep a hold of him. And I'm like, no shit. We're doing our best.
Aww.
Yeah, everybody loved Cade. We loved Cade.
He's a little rock star.
He was, and he was always happy to be there.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I'm not just saying that because you're his parents. We loved him.
No, it's real. He's a solid dude.
I wish he was still in here. He was in here.
No, I hadn't seen. Yeah, he was over there.
Yeah. He knows it. I already told him he's welcome back anytime.
That kid bleeds charisma. It
Yeah.
just it oozes out of him
Yes.
in a weird way.
It was fun to watch.
Everything's flawlessly easy for him.
Yeah, and it was fun to be there and watch him interact with customers.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way he interacted with customers, I'm like, that's what we're at. Like, that is right. I should film you and make that the training video.
What is he doing? What's he just being personable?
Oh, yeah. And it's not, there's nothing shy about him.
Yeah.
He was just like, what up? What are you doing? What do you got? Oh, tell me about this. Tell me about that. Like, yeah, he just kept that conversation going. The people love talking to him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's your next move, bro? You may as well start a fucking bridge building company or
No shit. Well, here a couple of months
Fly to
ago,
Pluto or something.
I put in for, I wanted to start my own franchise of a Chick-fil-A. And so Chick-fil-A's a different animal. You don't just go get a franchise for Chick-fil-A. They hand pick. You basically apply for it, and they go through however many applicants, and they hand pick who.
Are you gonna have to hide your tattoos or what?
Fuck no.
Did they say yes?
I don't know, but I don't fucking care.
Are you waiting to hear?
Well, I got a thing back that said, like, to move on to the next step. But we were so struggling with the coffee shop, because this was towards the beginning, that I was like, maybe I can't take this on. Like, maybe I can't. And so I just was like, I'm going to like turn it down for now, and maybe later is going to be a better time for me. I had plenty of people in my life who were like, dude, you can't do it. Like, this is not something.
You got to stop something.
That's something. And I think a lot of this just comes from my obsession with Elon Musk. And anytime I start getting like run ragged, I'm like, he can do this. He can do 10 million times. He is doing 10 million times more than I am doing.
You think he is, or people are?
He
is.
At some point he was. And I'm like, dude, I ain't putting no rockets into space. I'm like, if this guy can do this shit, I can run a coffee shop. I'm like, I can do these things. And if it means I don't sleep, it means
How many hours of sleep you getting a week?
Well, now that I'm on day shift at the PD, I'm getting, I'll get 6 hours a night or so maybe. But when I was on Graves, I got to tell you. So when we were still trying to get going and get started, and I was working several shifts just to try to keep some overhead low, this is no kidding, I would work Monday night, Graves. I would change at the PD, go to the coffee shop, work all day Tuesday. Then I would go home, get ready for work, go back to the PD, work all night, bring my clothes, change, go back to the coffee shop the next day, work all day. And at that point, I didn't know what day it was, what time it was, who I was. I had to do that a couple of times, with little cat naps maybe here and there.
Yeah.
But like, and I'll say it, and I'll say it. The couple of PD shifts into that little charade, I would have been better drunk as shit.
Oh, totally, bro.
And it was irresponsible as hell, and I knew it. But I was also like, my business isn't going to fail. I don't care what it takes, and I'm not going to let this fail. And I'm still feeling that way. But at that time, I was like, if I don't sleep, I don't sleep, period. It's just not going to happen. But at work, dude, I'm just grateful that nothing critical happened during those times. And I won't ever do anything like that again, because I was like, I was as bad as a drunk guy.
It's weird what not sleeping does. They say like meth and stuff, you maybe can lighten into that more, but like, you hallucinate more from no sleep. It's not the drug the drug initially does all kinds of crazy shit, but then it's lack of sleep in this little weird loop of that just makes you psychotic.
Oh yeah.
That's where you lose grip with reality. That's weird, man. So you're taking better care of that now.
Yes. Yeah. I'm sleeping a little bit now, and especially when I'm on day shift, it's like, I can't work too many shifts at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm available if somebody calls in sick, if I have the day off or something. But yeah. Now I'm sleeping pretty decent now. But
What was you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, when you retire, are you smoking weed or what?
yes. Yes is the answer to that question.
So
I don't know
I'm
what
glad you fucking went there.
I mean,
I didn't even.
because I mean, you're talking about sleep and relaxation. Obviously, that would help, right?
Oh yeah.
Something I was gonna ask though is when the family gets down to St. George, I feel like that's when you're going to be able to sell your beer. I feel like that's when you're going to be able to do those kind of things that you want to do.
Yeah, probably.
Because St. George, to my knowledge, St. George is kind of like the Wild West. I mean, it's very much Nevada-ish kind of right there.
Right,
It's
right.
popping down there right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was a tiny little place, bro. My grandparents moved there, I don't even know, a long, long time ago. It was nothing. It was teeny. They lived on Red Bluff, second exit, whatever it is.
Right.
Snow Canyon, right at the base of that. We drove by it. Oh, my God. A
That's
couple of
booming.
years. It looks like it's huge.
Dude, we were down
The
there.
freeways are all different. It's multi-lanes. I'm like, holy
yeah.
shit. It's really, really crazy down there right now.
Yeah, we were down there a couple weeks ago, and I had my wife's grandparents have a home right on Green Springs Golf Course right in Washington, and I brought my one wheel, of course, because I've been taking that with me everywhere, and I went one wheeling around the whole damn golf course.
What's one wheeling?
Okay, one wheeling has changed.
Dre
my
went
life.
right to the thing. I'm stupid.
Dre,
again.
do you know what
He
one wheel
knows.
is?
Oh,
Oh,
he
yeah,
went
he
right
knows.
at the computer. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, I got to show him this shit.
Okay, one wheel.
Because his man Casey made it popular.
No. Casey rides a boosted board.
Oh, fuck you. You can ride one of those?
Dude, I've got 400 miles on mine.
Bitch, please.
Yeah, that's one of the guys that works for One Wheel.
Those fucking things terrify me, dude.
No. Let me tell you. Yeah, that's a one wheel. That's the one wheel I have.
Dude, is that local?
No, that's in Santa Cruz. But they shot that at the Salt Flats.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
that-
it's definitely
It was
Salt
shot
Flats.
at Salt Flats. So they just came out with a new. Okay, so I bought my one wheel in July.
How old are these things, ish?
They came out in 2014.
Okay. I missed this fucking thing.
And they've come a long way. And let me tell you, I bought the Pint a year ago, fallen in love with it, like madly in love with it. Okay. I've put 400 miles on it because it keeps track. It has with the app, it's got the
On your phone?
on your phone, it logs it. They just came out with one that they call the One Wheel XR, not the XR.
Right there.
Yeah, that's the XR, but the One Wheel GT is the one they just came out with, and I just ordered that
Oh,
one.
I say it's like a snowboard?
Yeah, they say it's like a snowboard. The sensation is like snowboarding. I take mine everywhere. I've one wheeled around Jackson Hole, like downtown. On the
Really?
Yeah, I've
That's dope.
one wheeled in through Wendover. I've taken mine everywhere.
Are they gas, electric?
Oh, they're electric.
Fucking gas. It's something.
They're electric.
That's dope.
Yeah, my Pint goes about. They claim 6 to 8 miles, but I get about 10 miles out of mine. And the new one I just ordered will go 32 miles on a charge.
What does it do on like hills,
Oh,
coming
they're-
up a hill and shit?
They're like meant for off road.
whoa, you can take in the dirt and shit?
Oh, you can take that.
What?
thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, speak of it right here. Speak of the devil. He's on a dirt road.
Yeah.
I thought it was a street.
See, there's
Bro,
that-
yeah, it's got a big old rubber tire.
That's the one I just ordered.
And that's Snow Basin.
Dude, that is
Yes,
fucking
yeah.
dope.
Yeah, that's
Why'd
Snow
you come
Basin.
out here to do that? I wonder.
They do like a championship race at Snow Basin each year.
They go down the hills on them and shit?
Oh, dude. You got to watch them. Like, yeah.
Okay, I don't. Yeah, that's
The
that
GT
scares the
is,
shit out of me.
yeah, they're badass.
So
What
will
does one do?
when it's going downhill, is it free going or is there motor resistance to them?
It's motor resistance to them. So,
Kind of holding you back a little.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
You lean forward, you go fast. You lean back.
Yes.
Okay, so I understand.
Yep.
I'm a very mechanical human.
Yes. It's very slight movements. Like, just
That's how you propel it. Is
like-
lean forward.
Like, you literally transfer a pound to your right foot. You go for, or whatever foot's going forward.
Look at it turning shit. No shit, bro. So yeah, you can see him leaning forward slightly, and it's
Yep. See now they slow.
how fast will they go?
So the GT will go 20. The XR will go.
Your feet are right by that fucking moving wheel.
Oh yeah, you can put fenders on them.
Dude, that looks. Yeah, that's like a grinder, right? And a grinding wheel. That's
Yeah.
The grinder's wide open here, fellers. Whoa, bro, he's fucking.
They haul ass.
That terrifies me.
So I bought the cheapest one they had to try.
Damn, gee, that'll fuck you up coming off of that.
So I already went down on mine.
Wow.
And it fucked me up.
I guarantee
It was bad enough where I sent Jade a picture of my scrape on my arm, and I'm like, "Are we gonna need to fix tattoos?"
Let it heal. Did it heal up okay?
Yeah, it was.
Dude, though, I've never. Those thing is fucking insanity.
No, dude. So
Look at that shit.
like when I go one wheeling,
That's cool.
I put my AirPods in, and you want to talk about my version of meditation?
Lost.
I come back a changed man.
Really?
Oh yeah,
That's fucking
I
cool,
go,
man.
and you can ride them at night because they have headlights and brake lights.
Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
Yeah, and I ride mine at night, not in the cold, but in the summertime.
It hops over sticks and shit. Look at that.
Oh yeah, they do.
That's cool, man.
They are beyond badass.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you know about it? Have you been on one of them things? That thing is,
Nah, man.
dude, that shit's Yeah, I don't know about none of that.
Yeah, the first time I seen one, it was Sean Durst had one.
Oh yeah, look at him leaning to go uphill.
Yeah.
What else run you? Like, what's this one?
Okay, so for the GT,
Look at that fucker go up that hill.
for the GT, like out the door,
That's
I was
dope.
$2,350.
Oh, they're talking about it. He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" That's fucking cool. How much is it?
That one was $2,350 out the door, like with sales tax and everything. It was free shipping.
You can get a Nissan Sentra for that much,
dude. Yeah, but that's no shit.
Oh, -14. He's anyway. I'm infatuated.
So
that's cool.
They just started shipping these last week, I believe, and the GTs. And so my ship date isn't even until April 8th.
It's got a tail line shit. You got that on hold? You got a Tesla on hold?
Yeah.
Dude, that's cool.
Now I just got to figure out how to pay for it.
Strip.
I don't think I'll make much money, but maybe OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
There's
so many options.
Well, have you made any content for them?
I have. I've started a TikTok for my One Will called One Will _ obsession because I am absolutely obsessed with them.
That's cool.
And yeah, I just have been putting up like,
how
me writing and stuff.
How it's a silly question, but like as somebody that's not even, how hard is it to get on it, balance it, and actually use the machine and go for it?
So it's real easy. So
it's not as just eat shit as it looks like.
No. So I'll explain how this really works. So the motor is inside the hub of the wheel, and it does two functions. The motor balances you. It takes 11, from what I understand, 11,000 readings per second to balance you, and then it propels you. So while you're riding it, I mean, you control like lean forward, let's get going.
Yeah.
But it helps keep you from just crashing to the ground.
Got you.
So what you do is you step on it, and it's got foot pads on it that sense a foot is on it, and you manually put it up to level, and the motor will kick in.
So it doesn't tip right then and want to flop over on your ass.
Once it recognizes a person's on it and you've brought it up to level, it kicks in, and then you lean and it goes. Well,
so it kind of steadies itself right there a little bit.
Right. And then
I love that.
Then there's a thing called pushback. When you hit close to the top speed, the board will do what they call pushback. It will start tilting itself back. And what that's telling you is the motor is saying, hey, dude, you're pushing me too hard. I don't have enough power to balance and propel you.
Yeah, so it's like brake.
Yeah, and it's a weird sensation because you're like, I want to lean forward, but it's pushing me back. And so it's warning you. So if you keep pushing through pushback, it will give up its ability to balance you, and you will nosedive, and then you're going to eat shit.
So when it does that, listen.
Oh, when it does that, listen. You don't mess around with pushback.
And how long will that battery go? Just on a normal chilling whatever.
On the Pint, the one I have,
that's dope.
I go about 10 miles on mine, but it all depends on the size of the rider and the style.
I need one. Give me one. Honey,
dude,
get me
the
one.
Pint's only $1,000. Best $1,000.
That looks too. That's cool. I never ever even heard them things.
Yeah, so $1,000 for the cheapest, or $2,300 for the GT.
Okay, we're doing it next podcast.
Dude, it is. I should have brought mine.
You should have.
In fact, over the summer, I was gonna ride mine here to get tattooed.
It's weird to go in the dirt.
Oh yeah, but I didn't ride.
Yeah, because it's got lights. You can drive down the street and shit.
But the sole reason I didn't ride it here is because I was like, by the time I get here, I'm gonna be sweaty, and boy, I'm sure Jade's gonna appreciate that.
It works you?
Stinking like hell.
Does it work you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Your core, your calves will burn after about mile 10. Your calves.
It's like snowboarding, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
That's cool, man.
Yeah, and it is, dude. My mind, my mental state's been all over the place recently just from the stress. Dude,
that kills it. Yeah, man.
It's sweet. I put in some Yellow Wolf.
Yes, sir.
Dude,
it's my boy.
I gotta thank you for that one.
Yeah.
And I will just put on I got like a Yellow Wolf playlist on YouTube music, and I cruise. I jam to that, and it's like the best thing ever.
That's cool.
I'm gonna quick question for you, nerd out a little bit. Do you shoot Canon or Sony?
Sony.
A7 III?
A7S III.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I got the A7S when it came out last year.
Do you do Phantom or Maverick?
I do Mavic.
Mavic
I
Pro?
do a Mavic 2 Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a Phantom. I had a Phantom 4 Pro, but I got tired of lugging around how big it was.
When you shot that car, that was Phantom, right?
That was a Phantom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dope, man.
Yeah, and now they just came out with the Mavic 3.
Yes.
That is pimp.
Yeah, man. The thing that I loved about Mavic, I mean DJI in general, like how small and portable they have their shit now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That's what I love.
Like that Mini 3 just got announced, and it looks pretty sweet.
You can go broke fast.
Oh, real fast, yeah. Yeah.
Is there any camera in the world better than these goddamn new cell phones, though?
Dude, they're pretty good.
This thing is
They're
stupid.
pretty good. Dude, you'll see a lot of guys on YouTube. They'll be comparing like iPhone 13
I'm telling
Pros to
Professional
$6,000 cinema cameras.
Like red cameras.
This shit is insanity. I just barely got this phone. It is ridiculous.
And the main difference between this and a red Gemini is like dynamic range, I swear. Not really, but I mean, they're close. I mean, there's been
how the fuck do they get it? That's just weird.
Yeah.
It's all packed in this little teeny thing. And you guys have these big, goddamn badass things. And this little thing does some.
Yeah.
My creepy.
A7S3 with the 24 to 70 G Master, it's like a $5,500 setup.
That's mirrorless, right?
Huh?
That's mirrorless?
Yeah. And I
listen to all this.
Dude, I can crank up my ISO so high, and it's clean, no noise. Yeah, I love that A7S3.
Is that our new? You're always going to do that. It's a hobby, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Are you going to end up doing it to? You don't know.
Well, I mean, I use it. I do all my video stuff with it
forever. Is that going to be? What's your when you leave the here? What are you gonna do? Do you even know?
Yeah. So,
or do you just take it as it comes?
Well, I kind of take it as it comes, but I've got a buddy who works for a company, and I'm not going to name the company, but they haul fuel, like fill up in North Salt Lake, and then they go fill up gas stations, and then go to North Salt Lake, fill up, and he's home every night. It's a 8 to 10 hour a day gig, and I spent the day with him just checking it out. And his boss man is trying to bring me over,
hauling fuel.
Hauling fuel, and the pay is about double what I'm at the PD.
Really?
Yeah. So and I used to be a CDL driver. I drove CDL for 10 years, and I got out of that when I went into law enforcement. And now,
you don't have to have a CDL to do that?
No, you do.
Law enforcement?
Oh no, not law enforcement.
Okay.
But yeah, so now I'm getting my CDL back to get back into that. But
I got to get hazmat too, bro.
I already got it.
You already have a hazmat?
Yeah, I already got all that. The only thing I haven't done yet is my driving test.
Hazmat's a joke.
Yeah, it was tough to get that endorsement.
Right,
but so I went with him today just to see what it's all about, to make sure that's something I want to venture into.
Yeah.
And it was sweet, man. It was easy going. And it was
home
nice.
every night.
Home every night. And it's just not far from where I live. And so it's like,
that's cool.
I told him, I was like, dude, this is so nice not listening to that damn radio, like my dispatch radio, just yakking in my ear about everybody's fucking problems that I don't want to deal with.
A cop shows up for one reason.
Yeah.
Right, it's like a doctor.
Yeah,
I view you two kind of similar that way, right? It's like there's only one reason we're interacting. Yeah. There's a problem,
right? Yeah,
it seems like.
Yeah, and that's the whole.
You guys are there because there's a fucking problem.
Yeah, it's like that nobody wants to see us.
You go to the doctor most of the time for a problem,
right?
It's gotta fuck with brains.
You know, and another thing, like on that same line of thought is, and I can say this as a cop. So when you're driving on the road and a police car gets behind you, what do you think?
What do we think?
Yeah.
Every human thinks the exact same thing.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Don't
pull me over.
Don't pull me over. Why? Because I don't want to pay a bill, and you're gonna hand me one.
Nervous. Everybody's heart. You start racing. Your heart gets shit.
And that has been that's pretty much everybody's thought forever. And I'm like, that's fucked. Like in my mind, I'm thinking, I wish. And I'm a cop. And when a cop gets behind me off duty, I'm like, fuck. I can't deal with a ticket right now.
Probably because you're drunk.
Bro, yeah, that probably doesn't happen.
Or shot some fucking guy in a desert somewhere that nobody knows where the fuck he. No,
no kidding, right? But it's like everybody thinks that, and I'm like, I've tried for the 10 years I've done it. I've tried to change that to be like, I would much rather people look in the mirror and be like, oh, cool, somebody who's on my side is here.
Why do you think this is? See,
and I'll tell you why. It's because quotas. People.
Why are we fearing? Why do we fear you guys?
Because we cost you money.
You fear me? You think I'm fear of you costing me money?
Yeah, because if a cop guy,
I'm not thinking about that when you pull up, though. Not at all. Yeah. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not thinking money. I'm like, fuck. What the fuck?
Yeah.
How do we get away from that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I can't do shit by myself. I mean, this has to be a movement. But for me, I'm like, I don't like the fact that when I pull in behind a car and I have no interest in them, I'm looking and kind of thinking that person's shitting their pants right now,
100%.
even if they've done nothing wrong.
100%.
And I was like,
I
don't like that. I would rather that person look in the mirror and be like, I feel safe right now. And because I don't want the police thing to be a negative thing for people. And it always, always is. And so I stopped writing because when I was at Clinton City PD, we had a quota. We outright had a quota. You had to write tickets. If you didn't write tickets, if the end of the year came and you did not write at least one ticket per every 5 hours worked, your percentage of your raise went down.
Your pay?
Yeah, for your raise.
Damn.
And so
you said at that place though. So does that vary city to county to county,
or if there's quota at all?
It varied city to city, but as of a year, maybe 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, they passed a law that said that cities and law enforcement agencies can no longer base your raise off of tickets.
Why do we even have a quota for it? That's garbage.
I'll tell you why.
Other than to raise money, I understand that.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
there's better ways to raise money than scare the fuck out of everybody.
You'll notice cities with justice courts have quotas. I know they're illegal now, but they find ways around it.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically like, no, it's not a quota, but if you don't do it, something bad might happen to you.
It doesn't seem fair to you guys. Like if you're trying to get more money, right? Because I mean, that's all. Everybody has a job to make money, right?
Right.
And if you're having to do this, reach this certain thing that you don't agree with, it just doesn't seem fair to you guys either.
No, it isn't. And when I first got into the biz and people were heavy on tickets because we have a justice court fund, I was like, whoa. I didn't get in this job to generate revenue. I got in this job to uphold the law and help.
It's serve and protect.
Yeah. I'm like writing people tickets to fund this justice court.
That's business. That's garbage.
I was like, that's a tax.
Let's be
business. Honest. Yeah. And it is business. And they're run like businesses.
But we pay you guys. Our tax money pays.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I fought this, and so they've made this license. They made the law now where they can't do that. But once again, there's ways around it. There's always going to be a way around it where they're like, yeah, we don't do that, but we'll get you on this end instead if you don't do this.
Oh, for sure.
To a T. So basically, it's like shut your mouth and keep doing it the way you're doing it, or we'll hammer you about something else.
Not the way.
And so like you'll see that in cities with justice courts. Well, Kaysville doesn't have a justice court, and I've been there over 2.5 years. I bet you I've written less than 20 tickets, and those 20 tickets have pretty much all been for no insurance because I'm passionate about that one. I have to pay that shit. And if you run into my family and don't have insurance, you better hope I don't kill you.
Dude, that's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing. So insurance, yes, that deserves a ticket. But I'm one of these guys. I just don't feel like anything else really does.
How often how often do you pull as a quota pulling over? As if there's some kind of statistic for this, where you're pulling over just to meet a quota. Do you actually run into something that it really made a big difference and helped? Like, yo, the dude had 2 pounds of fucking shit in his trunk, or right? This idea. Is there is it often that you gain from this, or is it just simply?
So yes and no. So in like when I was at Sunset, oh yeah, all the time.
So it's simple. So that's working. That works there.
That works there. But in Kaysville,
still kind of
absolutely not. I mean, it's just so different clientele.
What do we say to a cop when they walk up to our car?
I just be real.
Be you. What don't you say other
friendly.
Than the obvious? I have bombs and all this other shit in my car.
Yeah, and don't cop an attitude. I've given tickets, and I'm a guy that doesn't, like I said, I don't write tickets.
Right.
And if you want to be a dick and be rude to me because I'm doing my job, people forget I have the authority to write you a fat ticket right now. If I have the authority to pull you over, that means I can charge you with something, even if it's small. And sometimes I've done that where it's been like, you're not going to treat me this way for doing my job. I mean, you could be polite to me, and you would have been rolling out of here with just a
That's probably
five.
oftentimes the case.
It's oftentimes the case. And then
where you're like, okay, tail light, got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's like you want to be a dick. It's like, let's be honest here. I can be a bigger dick than you.
So just be honest.
Yeah, just be honest. And but I'm gonna also say this, and I say this to a lot of people. When you talk to the police, and this is kind of like, okay, I'll just say it. Other than like traffic stops, if you find yourself in a shitty situation, lawyer up.
I 100% agree.
I tell my kids that. Of course, I say if you get yourself in trouble, I'll kick your ass. But lawyer
Don't
up.
Talk to the police.
Even if you
in that scenario,
even if you've done nothing wrong, you want an attorney because it's like too often that you can get kind of hemmed up on something by opening your mouth.
Well, look, you're trained to do quotas. You're trained to meet guidelines. Yeah, you guys are.
Yeah, we learn the tricks of the trade.
Yes,
and I'm not, and I've never have been one to go out there and bust people's chops. I do everything in my power to avoid tickets and going to jail, because that shit doesn't help anybody. I mean, the once in a blue moon it might, but overall it just doesn't. And so,
how do we fix any of this?
dude, that's a good question. And we're in such a bad climate right now where it's fuck the police, defund the police. Let's be all honest. Even people that don't like the police, you got to have it. I mean, you got to have it. It would be absolute Wild West chaos.
100% agree.
It'd be, as a cop, if you defund, if I have no consequences for my actions and my neighbor has something I want, I'm going to put a gun in his face and I'm going to take it. And that's a guy who, I'm not like that. But if I have no consequence, what's going to stop me? So, like, even people that don't like the police, you got to accept the fact that, to a degree, I mean, we need that.
That's probably some of the principle it was thought of to be, right? For things like this. Yeah.
And it's just got to, and then you get the one bad apple that spoils the whole bunch. I mean, you get some of the shit like that happened with like the George Floyd stuff. And now every cop out there is a son of a bitch. Like we in Kaysville would be getting the tag, what is it? ACAB, all cops are bastards.
What do you mean? They write it on your
People,
car?
like,
I thought it was bitches.
Maybe that's what it is.
What do they do? They write it on
They
shit?
tag the letters ACAB
on
like
your
people's houses or on the fences. And it's like,
wow.
And what's frustrating about that is I'm like, I don't know. I'm a pretty nice guy.
On the cops shit.
Well, no, just like anybody.
Anywhere.
Yeah, just random places.
Got it.
And I get it if you have people have bad experiences, but I mean, I've had bad experiences with other certain people, but I'm not going to blanket. We say all those people are pieces of shit. You know,
if you're not breaking the law,
yeah,
you don't hate the cops.
Yeah, I mean, even growing up, I had cops be dicks to me, but I didn't hold it against a whole lot of them. I'm like, that guy was a dick.
Yeah. And
like, I try to go the extra mile to be as decent and humanly as possible towards people, because I'm like, I'm trying to help even though I'm getting out of the business, I'd like to leave with at least thinking maybe I helped change some people's opinions, that we're not all assholes. In fact, I go out of my way to help people out that other people at the department are like, I would have fucked him up. I'd have nailed him to the wall, you know? Right. It's like, well, what good does that do him? Like, I feel like I'm a little bit better at the punishment needs to fit the crime. We don't need to be a total dick just because we can be.
Do you feel like you're not in love with being a cop no more?
No, I 100% will say I'm not in love with it. In fact, I'm quite burned out on it. And the fun wore off for me a long time ago, which sucks because it could be a lot. It's a lot of fun. If you could hang on to that fun of it, it's the funnest job in the world, because it is. There's a lot of reasons why. But you hear a lot of people that say, oh, I want to help people. We don't, I don't know. People may argue this on me, but we really don't help a lot of people. We're the negative. I feel good when I walk away from a situation where I'm like, I think I did that person some like true good. Like just simply talking to them or helping them through something.
Just having that in your head, you did.
Like I'm like,
you did.
And I'm thinking of an incident that happened just 2 weeks ago, and I really think that I made a difference in a mother and a daughter's lives that was shit when I got there. And I think we really kind of turned things around. Those things, yes, I feel like, okay, I did some good. But overall, I just don't feel like that's what it is. And it's just the quotas.
So, it seems like
if
we did away with pulling over, period, no pulling people over, period, you only respond to things.
Like firefighters.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only downfall from that, right, would be what you might catch.
Yeah.
I wonder what that would do to everything.
Yeah.
If that would change the interaction we have, the way we feel about this.
Right.
If we knew that, you know what I mean? I don't know. Other than it generates so much money.
Yeah.
When we do pull people over. See, that's one thing to think about. I wonder if we could do something like this. Just think about that. What if we just didn't stop people?
Right.
Just respond to shit.
Right. And what I've been responsive lately. I mean,
I think that's a valid thing to talk about for real someday.
No, absolutely.
I don't know. There's got to be a way around this problem.
Right. And nobody, I mean, everybody's got their own ideas of what will turn police back into like Mayberry with, Opie Taylor and Andy Taylor and Barney Fife, where they weren't hated on, but
respected, looked up to, revered.
Shaft.
Like that's a man. Trust that guy. That guy right there. Same thing. You could, when you seen them people, you were happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you can get fulfillment without that job, though. Everything that you just told me that you get fulfillment from doesn't say police officer to me.
No, and you're 100% right, because I get far more fulfillment out of, like, when I put together a video or a film for somebody and I fine tune it and I spend countless hours on it and I'm proud of the project I made. Oh, hell yes, absolutely. In fact, I'm sure you guys have seen cops or you'll see somebody out in public, just a civilian, and you would probably be like,
that's a cop.
That's a cop. 100%, that's a cop.
You can see it. You can smell it. You can feel it.
So when I'm like,
any guy that comes up to me and is like, "Hey man, you got some weed?"
yeah,
you're a cop.
You're a
dude.
narc.
You got it. Yeah. Then there's that.
Or do they come up to you and say, "Hey sir, do you have
he's undercover.
Do you have any illegal narcotics?"
What's one thing we shouldn't say, bro? Seriously, when is there something?
Here's a trick. Okay, when we pull you over,
I'm looking for gold right here.
Yeah, and we say, "Do you know why I stopped you? Do you know why I'm asking you that? And why I'm asking you that in that
Did you
way?"
see me just swallow right there? Like I got nervous. You see that?
Yeah. Do you know why I pulled you over?
She looked up his eyes and shit. What do you say?
You're looking for the truth. You're looking for if I'm gonna lie to you.
Not only that, this happened just yesterday. I stopped a guy. He had expired registration by like a year. And no, I didn't even write him a ticket.
All generated money shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't write him a ticket.
Not hurting anybody.
So I said, "Do you know why I stopped you?" And he's like, "Yeah, my shattered windshield." And I'm all,
Oh, and that.
"Oh, I didn't notice that."
Thank you.
So basically, "Hey, do you know why I stopped you?"
No.
"Yeah, the 15 pounds of meth in my back seat." That's right.
It was just a taillight.
Yep.
Thank you.
So it's all, the answer to that question is always like,
I do not,
have
sir.
No idea. But polite and respectfulness will be reciprocated from most.
See,
cops.
did you hear that gold? That's gold right there.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Because if you're nice to me, I'm a nice person. Even some people that I want to be an asshole to, if they're super nice to me, I'm like, I just can't do it. I've got to be nice to this person because they're so nice to me. Not fake, but nice.
You can feel it,
What
right?
about those videos? You ever see those videos on like YouTube where they're like the cop pulls the dude over and he like sets the camera up?
Yeah, he won't quit filming you.
Yeah, and then he puts the window down like an inch.
Yeah.
And the cop's like, "Yo, roll your window down." He's like, "You can hear me.
These are my rights, and you do not
you
get
know
my license.
rights." Yeah.
The sovereign citizens, yes.
Yes, do you deal with this shit there?
Every
Is that
now-
annoying?
Oh, it's horrendously annoying.
Yeah.
Because I know what they're doing. They're trying to bait me into something so they can get some YouTube gold on their phone. And so
And you watch YouTube too, so you
What's
already know.
funny is they're doing all the right rules. They follow the rules.
Yeah, but
There's two sides of that. All that.
sure.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
But it's garbage to do that.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, they're baiting you in. They're trying to get you to get something so they can get views on YouTube or whatever the case may be. And it's like, hey, if you want to unroll the window and talk to me through a crack that big, that's fine. You can pass your license to me. I was probably going to give you a break. I'll probably write you a ticket now if you want to be a dick, but all you got to be is cool with me and I'll be cool as hell with you.
What's the gnarliest traffic stop you can talk about?
I could tell you a crazy story, dude.
Or craziest, whatever you can. We got time, don't we?
Yeah, we got time. So I was Graves in Clinton, and I was doing shift change with the day car. It was just me and him. He pulls alongside my car, and we just do our shift brief, where we kind of I tell him what went on overnight, which, if I remember right, was nothing. This was like 4 years ago. This wasn't a traffic stop per se, but this was
An incident.
And he, we just chatted about it, and I'm like, cool. And it was just up the street from my house, and so I was like, yeah, that really is all that's going on. And right then, domestic came out just down the street, so right between us and my house, just right here on 2300 North. And I was like, I'll go with you, before I go home. So we go there, and I stay out in the garage with the male, and my partner goes in with the female inside the house. And the male in the garage was sketchy as fuck. And I mean, probably one of the sketchiest dudes I've ever dealt with. Like, you could tell something was up. I mean, from his body language, something was up.
Nerved out.
Or like, calm down. After a few seconds, I'm like, you're going to stop. You're going to turn on. I'm putting you in handcuffs. Like, you've got something going on. So he gives us his name. Turned out to be a fake name. We get another person that shows up, a deputy that shows up, and he's out there with him. And so I go in the house, and I'm like, what's going on? What's she saying? And these are younger people in their 20s. Well, they're at her mom and dad's house. And she got brought there by this guy. and went inside and told mom and dad he kidnapped me. We're here to pick up my birth certificate and my passport. Basically, he's getting me out of this country. He's my pimp kind of a thing.
Oh.
And she's like, I came in to get it, but I really need you guys to call 911
now.
So that's what's going on. So he's sketchy as hell. Like, is she okay? Is she in trouble?
Why are you here?
Yeah, why are you here? What's going on? So I threw him in cuffs, and he gives us a name, and the name comes back to nothing.
John Doe.
Yeah, and we're like, dude, you're lying to us. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Well, then we finally find out from her his real last name, and we run him, and he's got just multitude of no bail warrants. And we're like, okay, yes, definitely something's going down. So we walk him over, we search him, we walk him over to my partner's car and put him in the back seat. And this was in 2018, and it was in March. And that day, or that night, we got like some late spring snowstorm. There was like 6 inches of snow on the road. So the deputy was outside. We're like, keep an eye on him. He's in the back seat. And then we go back inside. Excuse me. We go back inside to talk to everybody else. And while we're in there, over the radio, we hear the deputy say, he's taking your car.
Holy fuck.
And me and him.
How do you get out of the back seat of one of them? Sorry.
Fuck.
Excited.
Me and him look at each other and we go,
You can't get out of there.
me and him look at each other and go, what did he just say? We bound to the door, open it up, and there
goes
we
the fucking
see
car.
My partner's police car in the snow drifting.
Holy
Like,
shit.
oh shit. So what happened was he was cuffed behind his back like we do. And he slipped his cuffs, as we call it, where they like get him under their feet. Now they're in front of him. He unrolled the window, because you can't open a cop car back door from the inside. He unrolled the window. He reached out, opened the door from outside, and got out. Ran around.
Sorry.
Got in the driver's seat of this police car with his handcuffs on. Puts it in gear. Whoop. Right there, the deputy must have just looked away or something, because he's like, oh, shit, he's taking your car. So now I get in my car, and deputy's in his car, and we start pursuing him. Now, this pursuit is going slow because of the snow. It's all over. These are rear-wheel drive Chargers. We're all over. Well, this dude is from, like, Sandy. He has no familiarity with the area.
How we are up here.
How we are here. So he goes down to the roundabout right by my neighborhood. He goes around it. And I'm like, if he comes all the way around, he's
coming at you.
I'm going to take him out.
Yeah.
Sure enough, he comes all the way around, and I plow into him. Well, when we hit, we kind of bounce like that. Well, he goes spinning around. I go spinning around. He just keeps going, starts headed east. And I get out of my car because I think I'm disabled, and I'm leaking coolant. But I'm like, dude, no, fuck this. Put it back in gear. I'm back in the chase. We hit up to 4500 West, and we go south. And at this point, the whole damn world is coming.
Lit up.
We've got like 15 cops coming our way.
Utah rallies like this.
Oh, yeah. And so it's a low-speed pursuit because of the snow. But we were
You're
doing...
chasing a fucking cop car even.
Yeah. So we're doing maybe like 40 down
God.
this like 6 inches of snow. And when he at the end, the south end of 4500 West
That's a bad turn.
is Antelope.
Yeah.
And if you go left, you go east on Antelope. But if you go right, you go onto the island. And we're like, let's hope
You're coming to that T?
We're like, let's hope he goes onto the island. If he goes onto the island, he's done for.
He's going through that house.
Sure enough, he goes right to the island. We're like, you dumbass, you're toast now. We've got you.
There's
now.
no way out of there.
There's no way out of there. Well, he ends up sliding off the causeway. So we go running over there. We all get parked, go running over there, and we just grab this motherfucker by his hair, and out of the car he comes. And, oh, wait a minute. I forgot a very important part. A very important part. I've told this story a dozen times, too. Okay, so after we go through the roundabout and we crash, he goes up the street, and he turns down at just a random neighborhood road. Well, he slides into this neighbor's yard, and I'm right there, and I'm like, dude, he's stuck. He isn't going anywhere. Well, the passenger window of that police car that he stole was either down or it was broken. I don't remember. But I get out of my car, and I go running up, and I put my gun in the window, and I'm screaming at him to stop the car. And he's spinning tires trying to get out of this yard. Well, I hold on to the like the edge of where the window is.
The mirror and shit.
Yeah. I'm holding on with like my armpit while he starts getting traction on the road. And I've got my gun in on him, screaming to turn off the car, and he's yelling for me to shoot him. So I holster my gun, and I kind of hold onto the window, and I'm reaching in for the keys. And I can't quite reach the keys to turn it off. So then I go back, I transition back to my gun. I'm screaming again to turn off the car. By this point, we're doing about 30, 35.
On your feet?
Well, he's dragging me.
You're fucking...
Yeah,
you're on the outside of the car.
I'm outside the car, and he's just dragging me.
Jesus Christ.
And as he's going faster and faster, I'm like thinking...
Yeah, this is bad.
Like every second that goes by, this is going to hurt worse as I get bucked off. Well, sure enough, he catches a spot of dry pavement, and it bucks me off. Boop, boop, boop. My gun goes flying. I go flying. And then the deputy's like, "You good?" I'm like, go, I'm good. And that's when I run back to my car and get in the car. And then, then it ends up on Antelope Island.
God damn.
That was one of the crazier things. In fact, I think he's still in prison for that.
I'll bet.
As it turned out, he was like in Riverdale with some like rape or like, not rape, some sort of like prostitution ring going through like a hotel. It's like what it came out to.
It's creepy, bro.
Oh, he was an absolute pile of dog shit. Like
everywhere,
he was a worthless piece of shit. But that was probably, when I went home that morning, and like I said, it was right by my neighborhood, and I was late as hell getting home, and Brittany's like, "Yeah, I've been trying to call you, and I heard sirens, and when you weren't answering the phone," she's like, "I figured something was going on." I'm like, "Hell yeah, you were hearing sirens, but about 50 cops coming through here, getting drugged down the road by the car."
He went into the causeway though. He just dumped.
He just slid off and then just went.
So
down
he didn't get very far down there.
No, and that totaled out the car. But yeah,
God.
Do you get a new car after something like that? You just get a brand new one, or what?
If it totals it out, you might get like a spare car, but then a new car. If it gets like, because troopers do pit maneuvers all the time where it damages like the front of their car, and they just get them like fixed at a body shop.
You get the pick of like a sedan or a expedition?
No. It's kind of whatever they can get a good deal on. But they'll usually stick to like Fords or Dodges. So like right now we've got Chargers and we've got Durangos, and we're kind of going to all Durangos because right now that's kind of the better.
They're fucking cool looking.
Kind of the better deal. Yeah. And like the new ones we're getting at Kaysville, the driver window is a ballistic window. And so is the door.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they can't even shoot through the window. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Do you have to clean your own car?
Yeah, like we have like a car wash card that's preloaded.
But like, if I'm fucking drunk as fuck and you pick me up and we're heading over to the precinct. And I'm like, all over the back seat. You have
all
to
over your head, behind you.
Oh, I'd fucking lose it.
Because is there plexi there?
There's plexi there, but there's a spot.
Fucking bitch.
There's a spot of the plexi though, like it's like a truck slider window, and it's got like little slats.
Shut up, bitch.
Yeah. No, I shut it all the time when they're in there bitching and moaning about everything. But so in that situation, like if I was going back to the PD. Yeah, that's kind of on me to clean up. But I had this dude that was drunk as shit one night, and we got him into my car, and he was a dick, and we get him to the jail, and he's like, "Hey, I got to pee." And I'm like, "Dude, we just pulled into the jail. Can you please
get in there?"
Like I'm trying to be polite, and I'm like, "Please don't pee in my car. That's a dick move. Don't do that to me."
Yeah, dog.
And he's like, "Dude, I got to pee." And I'm like, "They're coming out," because we pull into what's called the Sally Port, which is like,
you go in this garage
and
fucking thing.
And I'm like, God. Just wait. Dude, do me a solid, please. And he was like, "Fuck you." And all of a sudden he's pissing. I'm like, "Oh, dude." And so we get him out, and he is sitting because they're
smell like Erica's asparagus.
When you're drinking,
it smells like R. Kelly sheets.
And guess what that smells like? Yeah. It was 99 cents. Yeah. You look just like him, dude. Not R. Kelly.
I do.
You look like Macklemore. You see that? Look at that fucking face. That's Macklemore right there. Yeah. They're plastic. They're hard vinyl. Shit. So you can hose it out.
You can hose it out, but I get back to
fabric seats,
and he is sitting in a puddle. Like it's not soaking; it's a puddle.
It's drunk pee.
And I'm just like, "You're a fucking dick." So he gets out, and I'm looking at this puddle of piss, going, "So what do I?" I'm like, "Do I go get kitty litter? Like, what am I gonna do with this?" And the best news I ever got in my life: the jail sergeant's like, "I can get some inmates out here to clean that up."
Word.
I'm like, "Boom, get them out of here, dude." Those guys spit shined at the back of my car, and I remember telling these two guys, I'm like, "Dude, if I could, I'd take you home right now. I'd just let you go. I'd like open that door."
That was probably the highlight of their month.
They were stoked to get out of their jail. And I'm like, "You guys are phenomenal. I'd give you a tip." I was like, "I got to put money on your books. You guys are great."
Oh my God.
I didn't have to deal with this, and you guys took care of it. It was great.
Is that a thing for that type of thing that just happened, right? Where the inmates came out, they cleaned it up. You were appreciative. Is that something like you can like write the warden and be like, yo, like this dude did an awesome job?
Oh yeah.
Does that make a difference in their
it does.
stay and shit?
It does. You know, and it's like something like that. Absolutely, I can give like props to the judge because it's the judge with the jails that would matter. Be like, dude, this guy did a kick-ass job. Unfortunately, not a lot of guys will do it. But like when people are cool with me in a shitty situation, and I'm cool with them, like we're cool, like no one's fighting. It's just like, hey, it is what it is. I'll cooperate. I always put it in my reports because the judges read that. I'd be like, and it's always mentioned, hey, this guy, you know, is very cooperative, polite, respectful, and that goes a long way with the judge. You know, just like anything, they're gonna be like, the judge will read your report and be like, oh, if this guy's a dick, then piss on him. But if they're like, hey, you were cool, I can be cool back. I mean, it's funny how everything in life kind of works that way. It's like whenever you call customer service because you're pissed off about your Verizon bill going through the roof, well, better yet, Comcast, because that happens every time. And it's like, I want to be a dick, but I know I'm going to get nowhere if I'm a dick to this person. Yeah. If I'm very nice and polite, they'll bend over backwards to help me. And it's that way, like with everything.
Sometimes that takes a little time.
And it takes a lot of willpower to not just fucking
and just calm down.
Yeah.
How do you breathe through the lady that's like, yeah, fucking, how do you do that? Don't you? Do you get this where they're mad and pissy at you and you're just like, ma'am, it's okay, calm down.
Oh yeah, dude. No,
I don't know if I could do that.
Dude, it's tough. Like I've had incidents where I've had backup officers where they have walked away from the situation because I'm absolutely going fucking ape shit on somebody, and using the F word of people on duty is frowned upon, and yelling at people. But I'm 39 years old, so I'm not like an old guy. But a lot of my thought process is old school where I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to, the hug a thug thing. No. Sometimes.
Tit for tat, baby.
Yeah. Sometimes for me to get through to you is going to require I scream in your face and call you a fucking idiot. Sometimes that's what it takes. And I always look at it like, if I take my ride up, I take my ride up. But this is what this situation warranted.
Yeah.
And I just do it.
You got to just roll with everything. You can't have a pre-plan, right?
All right.
You guys don't have like this pre-planned thing. You got to show up and live right there and see what happens.
Yeah, you just got to do it. Just like, as you see, the hand tattoo again. I just do what the fuck I want.
And that's how life works. I think we should.
Yeah, I just do it.
I really do.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of preventative work that you guys do on patrol?
This is what I brought up the other thing for.
Yeah, so we get a lot of vehicle burglaries out of Vasa. Like, that's a hot spot for vehicle burglaries. And it's genius, really, because if I'm a criminal and you get out of your car and walk into Vasa, I guarantee I got an hour. And I can go pop your car and be gone. So we lately, to try to prevent that kind of stuff, if this is kind of what you're getting at, is we just have presence there.
Yeah.
I make sure I pull up there, and I'm very obvious. It won't solve the problem, but it'll solve the problem while I'm there.
It's just like a camera.
Yeah.
It keeps the honest guy a little more honest.
Right.
It makes the thief go, fuck this place.
Yeah, exactly. And then the one day that we're not there, they're like, oh, cops aren't here, let's hit it.
Yep.
But we also have other things like if I have somebody I arrest and I have criminal charges on them, we can choose to do, like, there's an adult receiving center where they can get like kind of a second chance. And if they finish their little program, then the charges go away.
Before jail?
Yeah. Like I can take somebody that I could take to jail, but I'll take them to the receiving center and be like, hey, buddy, I feel like you just kind of got dealt a shit hand tonight. This might be a better route for you so you don't catch charges, but you get a little bit of help for what you need help for.
So what do you do then? You haul them to a place, though?
Yeah, it's right next to the jail.
Really?
At Davis Behavioral Health, they're the ones that run it.
I didn't know this is a thing.
It's new. It's brand new. And so it's like, here's the deal. And they let them know. They're like, these charges are going to pend. If you complete our program, these charges disappear.
I think that's a great idea.
You go on with life, and everybody wins. But if you fail this program, you're going to default to your charges.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and we've used it. We've used it quite a bit, and I think it's helped a few people. Unfortunately, like, we get notified how our person did, and I've yet to get one that says they completed the program successfully. Every one of them has been like, they bailed, and so the charges are now put in place. But
does it seem to be most people that break the law? There's more of a loop in it than it's just. Is it? I don't know how to say that without being. Are there more repeat things happening than there are?
Oh yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I don't know how to say that kindly,
dude. We have people we can hear dispatch call out simply half the address on the radio.
And you know the name.
We know where we're going.
God damn.
We will go there so often. When I worked at Sunset, there was a gal that had some serious mental health issues. But her family was dysfunctional anyway. I went to their house 31 times in a month.
There's 30. Got it. Copy. Every day.
Which when you figure I was working 5/8, so I had 8 days off that month. So I was going more than once a day.
Domestic-y.
Yep, everything under the sun.
So it's okay. So is it true that here's one more quick question? If a call, this is what I was told by an officer that came here for another thing. If a call's generated, you have to follow through with it. If they call about noise, somebody, you have to come here.
We have to go.
And actually deal with it and say it's either good, bad, whatever. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, we one way and some of these places, it's like 99.9% of the time we know that we're going to pull up and we already know what we're going to say in the radio.
But you still go.
But we still have to show up and we have to do our due diligence just in case, this, like the boy who cried wolf, right? Just to make sure this time.
I feel it.
Yeah. So it was funny because I actually ended up charging her. I didn't want to do this, but I was trying something to see if it would work.
You got to do something.
So I charged her with misuse of 911. It's the only time I ever charged anybody with that. But I was like, you got to stop calling us because your mom won't give you, and this is an adult, but she's got some mental stuff going on, because your mom took your cell phone. You can't call police.
Because you have to go, and it's eating up your time.
It's eating up our time. And so I charged her with misuse of 911, and I was like, the judge isn't really going to do anything. This is more to scare her.
Right.
The judge knows who she is, and the judge is not going to do anything with this. So let's hope it works. Oh, I'll be damned if the judge issued a warrant for her because she didn't show up to court on it.
Did she go to? Yeah, God, she's probably still locked out.
No. The next time I dealt with her, I find out that the judge actually issued a warrant on that because she didn't take care of it. I'm like,
you had to arrest her?
No, I didn't. No, but I was just shocked. I was like,
I wonder how correct is it working? Is she calming down on this shit?
She moved away years ago. Thank goodness. I think they went up to Twilla, so now they're Twilla's problem.
It's sad though. You have to respond to the call. That's exactly what I was. It's
Yeah.
weird, man. Even if it's garbage, you have to just check quick and bounce.
And I felt bad for her, but I was like, I've got to try something to get her to realize 911 isn't just a game. Like, you've got to stop. But I thought for sure the judge would be like, dismiss this one. But he went to a warrant, and I didn't take her to jail on it because I was like, okay, I didn't expect that to happen. But
I have a cute confession cop one. Are you ready for this?
Let's hear it.
And I'll end it out that way. Getting pulled over in Clinton. Hopefully it wasn't you. I don't remember. Long time ago. Let's see. I keep out some of the details. This is the craziest thing ever in my life. So I used to drink, like you.
Yeah.
I drank a lot. I drank and drove.
Yeah, that part's not good.
I know. So we get pulled over, me and my brother, and we're going, oh, fuck. I'm in the mirror. I'm like, boy, this is bad. This is real bad. Had a little cocktail, allegedly, and my brother took it, kind of put it by his feet, whatever. And cop comes up, does his thing, takes my shit back. It feels like an hour when you guys are back there, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Or 3.
Yeah.
I'm like just freaking out. And I drank. I was like, I smell alcohol, like more than normal. He's like, I fucking spilled it. He had the cocktail between his feet under the seat so the cop wouldn't see it.
Right.
You guys aren't stupid. You're just people. We know this. He nervously knocked it over. All you can smell is whiskey. I'm like, motherfucker, this is bad. Cop comes up to the window to me again. Gives me my shit back. It was just, he says, by the way, have you, he's like, I'm not done with you. He's doing his radio shit back and forth. Like, fucking, oh my God. He's like, you, my son, this is your luckiest day. I have to go. They had some gnarly something.
You lucked.
He said, I can smell the alcohol. I don't know what happened in here. When I come back, he's like, have a nice day. I wasn't drunk or anything like that. I was fucked. I was definitely going to jail for that. But he had to bounce on a call. Yeah. And he ripped around us. He ran back to, I don't know what it was. We couldn't hear it, but he's like, yeah, go ahead. I was like, thank you. Jesus Christ, thank you. Yep. I never did that again.
Dude, good.
And he ripped around us 800 miles an hour, gone. I don't know what was that. I was like, I was just shaking right there. I was like, fuck, man. He kicked the whole goddamn dreams all over the place.
Dude, that's terrible.
It's horrible.
If I get caught with a prostitute, and I say she's my girlfriend, you can't charge me, huh?
Yeah, if you tell me it's your girlfriend, she tells me she's your girlfriend, then I'm not doing nothing about it. Do you know how many times I catch people knocking boots in the back of cars?
Is that still a thing?
That was my next question.
In the park? In the park?
Dude, yeah. Dude, okay.
Anywhere.
I got
all over the place.
I got one story for you. So get a load of this. So I was living in Clinton, working in Clinton. My wife and I were friends with our neighbors.
You're not a swinger.
No,
I'm kidding.
not a swinger. No, I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah, let's get there.
Okay. Our kids play together, right? We knew them. Well, it's like 5-ish in the morning, and I see headlights on a car in one of our city parks. I wouldn't have seen this car if the lights weren't on. I would have drove on down 1800 North, not thought of anything of it. And I was like, those are humpers. I'm going to go mess with them.
You guys even give them a name.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I always just mess with them because I'm not going to, I just like to tease
The
them.
flashlight on the window.
Yeah. I like to embarrass them a little bit and be, you know.
Yeah.
So I pull
You
in
fuckers.
and I pull up there, and sure enough, there's people in there banging.
Do you kill the lights before you even get there?
Yeah. I like to be
Stealth.
a sneak attack.
You fuckers.
They don't know about it until I'm right at the window.
Like I said with the flashlight.
Yeah. So I go, boom, and I light them up.
Oh, God.
They scramble,
Fucking A.
and it's a dude, like, I don't know, in his 50s probably, and it's in a Camaro. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? He's like, oh, you know what we're doing. I'm like, I sure do. And I says, I need to get you guys' ID, please. And he's like, okay. So he gives me his ID, and I'm like, the car's low, and I'm like, I don't want to bend down. So I'm like, I need her ID too. And he's like, she says she doesn't have her ID. I'm like, okay. So I pull out my notebook and my pen, and I just reach like under, and I'm like, just write down your name, address, date of birth, and phone number for me, please. And so I'm talking to him for a minute. I'm like, you guys, what are you doing? Middle of the park? Come on, Jesus. So a minute later, I get the notebook handed back to me. And I look at it, and when I ask for those things, which I ask for all the time, I'm used to seeing a name, a bunch of numbers, a phone number, and a birthday / year.
You've seen this many times.
Many times. And I looked, and I just kind of glanced at it, and I didn't see that. It was more like just all letters. And so I kind of did a little double take, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm reading the note, and it says, okay, I'm not going to say her name. I almost said her name. Said her name, first and last, and it said, please don't tell blank, which is husband.
Oh, God.
We're getting a divorce. And I'm all.
I wouldn't have known anyway.
I ducked back down in the car, and I'm like, oh, you're. I ducked back down in the car.
This was don't say anything about the meth in the trunk scenario.
No.
She would have been fine.
Yeah. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, my God.
It was my neighbor's wife.
Oh, my God.
That we knew and were friends with, but this was her little side piece she was with. So the next morning, I get home and an hour later I get off, I go home and I tell Brittany all about it. And she's like, are you serious? I says, yeah. Well, I go to bed, and like an hour later, Brittany's waking me up. She's like, we'll call her Sally. She's like, Sally's at the door. I'm not tackling this one. Just me. You got to come down here with me. So I go downstairs, and we let her in, and she's all embarrassed. She's like, we need to talk. And I'm like, no, it sounds like you and your husband need to talk.
We're good.
And so she's like, well, I'm going to tell him. I'm like, no, you're going to tell him, or I'm going to tell him, but somebody's going to tell him.
What happened?
I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and look him in the eye all the time, knowing what I know.
You're in a strange spot there always, aren't you?
Yes. And so one thing led to another. He ended up finding out, and they got divorced, and it was just a bad deal. But yeah, I won't forget that one.
What?
Yeah, dude, it was. Yeah. When I saw that name, I was like, oh fuck.
God, see, so you want to go be a cop, not where you live. You want to move into a town because you don't know anybody.
Yep. Because when you're a cop where you're a cop where you live, you also have the incidents of like you're walking through Walmart with your family and somebody wreck you. You make eyes with somebody that isn't good.
It's like,
and you got to tell your family, go, just walk away. I don't want them to associate you with me.
Right.
Yeah. So it is better to be out of your own community.
Yeah.
Than you live. Yeah.
But then you get community there, and you got to move again and again and again.
Yeah. But it's like there's some benefits to living where you work in the fact like I can go home for lunch.
You go make coffee.
Or a quickie.
Duh.
That may or may not have happened.
Not in the park.
Just
go home.
The privacy of my residence.
Just go home.
And post, if you're listening, I'm just kidding because that's against post rules.
I'll leave that.
Yep. No, there's some benefits to it, and it was so nice to be like in my garage with the door down at 5:58, and the second 6 o'clock kicks over, I'm all,
I'll be there in 2 seconds.
10:42. Now I'm off work. You know, I don't have to drive home after work. Yeah, that's
How often do you guys rip them lights just to get home?
Dude, I thought about it yesterday because I was
fucking traffic. Watch this.
Yep.
He's like, I got a shit.
The seas part.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude. Yes.
How ignorant is it on a 4-lane road? I know it's expected. There's a thing in the world where we just pull over when we see sirens.
Right.
4-lane roads, big scenario roads, people on the other side, no way of ever interacting.
Yeah.
People still pull over.
Yeah.
Barriers even. I've seen this.
Yes.
I just keep going. What is the kind of idea for how this works? Are we, if it makes sense, pull over? Is it always pull the fuck over?
Always pull over.
Why?
Always
When there's absolutely this much chance of anything happening.
Because
I got pulled over for this once.
Yeah, because even if it's a wide road and a big road, when I'm running lights and sirens, my adrenaline's going up.
I understand.
You're getting that auditory exclusion and you're getting tunnel vision.
Okay.
So I need a little bit of buffer room, and I need as much buffer room as I can because oftentimes we make quick movements, like if we are about to miss our road or if we're going too fast for our turn.
Okay.
And so it's just nice to give us as much as possible. Even in those scenarios. Now, if they're on the other side of the freeway and it's a divided freeway, then of course, no, that doesn't make sense. But yeah, if they're going your same way, yeah, it's good just to dip over to the side.
No, it was opposing. It's opposing thing. I'm talking opposing traffic.
Oh, yeah, even that. Just to give us that extra little bit, just because, like I said,
so everybody can focus.
Yes.
That's the idea of it.
Yes.
Okay. It never made a whole lot of sense to me other than if it needed to be. I can see you, nobody behind you for 27 miles because you've parted the seas.
Yeah.
You're doing 600 fucking miles an hour at me. You have 4 lanes.
Right.
There's 4 on my side. I'm like, I'm just going to stay in the far right lane and just cruise a little bit slower.
And that
I got pulled over for this.
Yeah, and I bet you did. It's usually I kind of like.
That's fine. He whipped around and pulled me over.
Yeah.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
He's on a call going somewhere 800 miles an hour with the parted seas, and he flipped around to pull me over because I didn't pull over.
That's weird.
You feel me?
Yeah, that's weird.
Thank you.
But yeah, like
I'll
for
leave
me,
that alone.
in my personal vehicle, I'll wait till I get a little bit closer, and then I'll be like, okay, pull over. Oh, boom, right back behind him.
God, the games. I love it.
Yeah, I kind of get, a little bit further.
There's too many politics in this little world.
Did I ever tell you the time I almost made policy at Clinton PD?
I can only imagine. Let's hear it.
So I went on our dash cams. They're always recording, and they purge the video every 30 seconds, or says something like that. About every 30 seconds. So when I hit my lights, my dash cam comes on, and it captures the video from 30 seconds before I turn my lights on.
Gotcha.
That way, it can record whatever violation I may have seen.
Mm-hmm.
So it also records audio when you go back that far, which my supervisor always tell me that they love listening to my audio.
Your music.
My music. Did I tell you this?
Yes, but do it.
Yeah. So I had, I was playing some NWA.
With an unlisted song. Everybody can figure that out.
And I pull this car over, and 99 times out of 100, your traffic cases are never going to go to court, and it doesn't really matter. But I had Fuck the Police playing in my car, and I lit this car up. Well, sure enough, this case ended up going to district court. Oh, shit. And so we're sitting there in district court, and they're playing the body cam. Well, there's no editing. You don't edit.
Sam Gill's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
So I'm sitting there in court as they're playing the video.
And with your hand tattoos and your fucking long hair and your rebelness.
And it says shirt up there. They start playing in court, and it's all, fuck the police coming straight from the underground, like playing on my camera. Everybody's looking at me like,
did you sit there calmly? Like,
yeah, I'm all.
Or were you like, fuck?
I was a little bit filling out of place. I'm all, and everybody's looking at me like, "Are you for fucking real?"
It's a great song.
The prosecutor's like, "Jesus." Yeah, so that was always and then it got brought up at our Christmas party, and my LT at the time was like, because of that, we almost made a policy that said you guys cannot listen to music in your cars anymore.
How many policies have been made because of you?
Oh, I'm sure a few. I am at Kaysville. They call me a walking policy violation, and it's true.
You come with a bang, man.
I do.
You make things happen. You move things. You do things. You move and you do, and that's why you are that, I think. It's cool. I think it's cool. I think it's powerful, man.
Yeah.
And when it's done with your heart, it's always good.
Right.
Was there not a position or a place that you wanted to go within before you retired? Like detective or anything like that?
You know, I wanted to go into narcs, but I wanted to go into narcs for the wrong reason. And the wrong reason... And it took me a lot of years to accept that it was a wrong reason why I wanted to go into narcs. But I wanted to go into narcs because the guys in narcs get to grow their hair out and their beards out.
That's not the wrong reason.
And they don't have to wear uniforms.
You'd have been so happy.
And tattoos fit in. like I could just come to work like I look right now.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And then a narc position opened 2 times since I've been at Kaysville, and I didn't put in for it either time. So I'm like, I was like, well, I'd actually have to go out and do it, which is fun. But I'm like, the real reason is I just want an excuse to grow my hair long.
I see the wrong reason, the wrong intent.
I was like, when I have an officer,
at least you own up to that. I love that.
Yeah, and I had an officer, other officers that were like, no, I want to go out there and pop all these dope dealers. Which yes, that's great. But I was like, I'm more interested in just drive or dressing like a hobo, and I'm like, I'll let the guy go do it who's really going to go do the right job.
And you can have tattoos.
Yeah, I can have tattoos.
And you fit right in.
Yeah.
They need to put you in you need to be running it.
I agree.
Because you fit right in with us.
I do.
You're an us.
I do. I know. I just don't fit the cop mold anymore.
Do your brothers and sisters in the police force today, do you feel like they see you as like, because you're so opposite of what you are telling us, right? Like,
yeah.
Listening to the music, the song, right?
Yeah. It's.
Do you feel like those people accept you as one of their own?
Yeah, they do. They know that I'm quite different than them, and they know that I have some different morals. They also know that if shit goes down, I've got their back to the end. They also know I'm an honest guy, but they know that I am not your typical cop. They know they can trust me, but they are also well aware that I am not like them. But they're cool with me about it.
Did you ever have a partner, and how's that whole process work? Some cops have partners, some don't.
Yeah, so like on the east side of the country, it's a big deal to have, and in like LA and stuff, it's a big deal to have a partner who rides in your car with you. We don't do that in any of this area, at least not in Utah at all. We have partners, but they have their own cars. So usually like you have minimum coverage, which for Kaysville is 2. You got to have 2 officers on at all times. Usually it's 3.
Yeah, so you're more, you guys are, it makes sense.
Yeah, so we go do our own thing, but we'll like show up on each other's calls to help.
But how handy is it having Dre in the back seat when some shit goes down right there with you? Or not in the back seat. Yeah. There's 2 ways to look at that, huh? Other than having a separate car, you got to call. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. You have 2 people in a car. Oh, yeah. Shit.
But oftentimes, is it true you guys will call another car before even anything happens? I've noticed.
If we feel...
We wait, and here comes another car. You're like, fuck, no, I'm really scared.
Yeah, if we feel like... If we get that vibe that something's really not up, it's easier for us to get a guy over there. And if it turns out to be nothing, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
But if it goes to shit, we aren't scrambling to get someone there. We already have someone there. But oftentimes, too, we try not to make a, because sometimes we show up to other people's calls just because we're bored and we're just getting nosy. We're like, oh, what's going on over here? But there comes to a negative thing with that. Like we don't want somebody to feel like if it's a person of another race, we don't want them to think, oh, because I'm a Mexican guy or whatever, you had 5 of you show up, and we're like, we don't want that image. Like,
you already know that's happening too.
Yeah, we do. And if it's not,
we just talked about it because we're always scared of you anyway.
Right.
So yeah. The more you stack up, we get more and more scared.
And we don't want people feeling
stupid.
We don't want people feeling that way. And the reason I bring up race is because that's a lot of times what fuels it. So it's like, I'm like, and we'll tell the other guys, we're like, no, we're good. Like, we're just chit chatting or
you
whatever.
Need to leave.
Yeah, like go, because you being here or 6 of us being here does not look good and it's not necessary. And it's making this guy feel uncomfortable and he's not in trouble.
It makes us rubberneck too and wreck our shit. Yeah. We're like, what the hell?
But if someone's giving a shit, I don't give a damn what it looks like. I want my buddies there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's.
I got one last question. Favorite cop movie?
Favorite cop movie would either be Bad Boys, even though it's all nonsense. None of that shit's real.
You mean Will Smith running with his shirt off? That's real as fuck. What are you talking about?
Or racing his Ferrari around.
Dude, you would make the best cop documentary of all time.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Probably. That's a good idea. Maybe I should do that. Boom. And I also like it how Will Smith has a Ferrari, but he's a cop. If I had enough money for a Ferrari,
Miami Vice
shit wouldn't be a cop. Dude, Miami Vice
fucking A
is sweet. And then, oh, hell, I don't know. I like Tombstone. That's kind of a cop movie.
Yeah. That's law.
It's law.
Training Day.
Training Day is a good one. Yes.
Get that beer and you'll feel better.
Yeah.
You gonna shoot a fucking cop in the back, Jake?
Yeah.
I love that show.
Dude, yeah,
Denzel.
Training Day. I haven't seen that in a bit.
Denzel's a beast.
Yeah.
I love that motherfucker.
Yeah, there's that other one with Jake Gyllenhaal, End of Watch. I have not seen it, and I won't watch it. I've just heard it's a little bit too real, too much reality.
Really?
Yeah, and that's tough because I've like I said, I've had a couple boys that have died, and I don't want to.
So all your hobbies and all your stuff you do, that helps shake all the nonsense. You guys got to have an outlet for sure.
Oh, dude, yeah, because I've brought it home. My own kids have told me I'm an asshole, and it's really opened my eyes to. It's hard to turn it on and off.
I've talked to several people about this. Yeah. It's strange. You guys can. It's interesting.
Yeah,
you create two people.
Yeah, you kind of have to, and it's
my cousin's an officer, lieutenant, and he's like, yeah, you make two. I'm like, is that real?
Yeah, it's hard.
He's like, dude, it's tough. So it's God bless you people. I think we need you very, very much. And
I agree.
I appreciate it. Law, we have to have law.
Yeah, you have to.
Of some sort. I don't know what degree. I don't give a shit about none of that, but it needs to be in place. And I just trust the people doing it are doing it.
Right. Yeah, and it's good that we have good ones out there and good guys that want to do it, and they do it for the right reasons. And you know, me on my way out, it's easier to be my real self now and not so much that person because I'm on my way out.
The more authentic you are to what you are, the more that it is. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, it was a good experience. I wouldn't trade it. But when I shut the door on the cop thing, I think I'm done talking about it. I'm done thinking about it. I'm done.
I'll bet.
I'm just moving on from it.
You're gonna, yeah. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
That'd be tough, man.
Yeah.
You guys are different people.
Definitely.
What else do we got? What else you got?
I just need more tattoos.
Well, let's get up there. Let's go.
I know. And Jade's up there right now, too.
I think she just left.
Oh, my hell. She did.
Sorry, bro. I can do it right here.
Let's,
garage tats right now.
Oh, I love garage tats.
I can't do it that good. You don't want my shit on there, bro. She's incredible, man.
Lay it up.
You guys get on her Instagram and look up this work.
Yes.
Jade's work is incredible. It's Connor's, everybody's. But yeah. That's beautiful, bro.
It's been well done. I love this place. And when I find a local business that I love, dude, I'm all over it. I've passed out so many damn cards at my coffee shop for you guys.
They just sitting there at the thing?
Yeah. And, dude, people constantly ask.
That's cool.
In fact, one dude came in the other day, and he's like, yeah, Jade does all mine. I was like, oh, no shit.
I don't even doubt it.
Yeah. And then I saw Alec from Gallegos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
El Burrito.
I see him all the time.
Shout out El Burrito.
Yeah. Oh, dude, El Burrito, my favorite place of all time.
He talks about you all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, we're boys. Yeah.
Is it a pass to say, yo, I know officer, blah, 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 if I get pulled over, or you guys like get annoyed about that?
It depends on the delivery. If it comes across like you're trying to get out of a ticket, which obviously we all, if you're trying to use that and it's obvious, yeah, you might still get out of the ticket, but it'll be annoying. But if you just kind of mention it in a, just a
when it's an
way.
authentic, right?
Yeah.
When you feel it, you're like, yeah, cool, man, thanks.
Is there the senator or somebody that we need to mention? Like, yo, my uncle is so and so.
You don't know my grandpa, bro?
You don't know Governor Cox?
He's been.
Yeah. They Herbert.
You know what? Since you said he's a cop, you're going to prison, bitch. Get in this car.
It might be like we don't give a fuck. About
this is like talking about you were just getting a taillight ticket, but you said you got meth in the thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
If you tell somebody that's my whoever, they might not like that guy.
Yeah, they might not.
And you might be going to prison just for it.
Yeah, just for it.
So when you live real,
my advice is always be honest. If you feel like you might have yourself in a sticky situation, lawyer up.
If I have a firearm and I get pulled over, which is 100% of the time, a gun, always, no more concealed laws, no more this stuff. Do you want me to openly talk about that right away? Do you want me to have it? What do you suggest there? Because
people all the time will do that, and they'll say, "Hey, just let you know, I do have a gun in here," and it happens so much now.
It's Utah.
Yeah, then I'm like, cool, and I'll be like, "Where's it at?" It's in my glove box. I'll be like, "Hey, just don't be digging in your glove box. We'll be cool." But then I'll usually be like, "What do you carry? Let's chat."
Yeah,
kind of make kind of a friendly connection, and then get a feel for them. And I'm like, if you're telling me that already, I feel pretty good that we're probably okay.
And the guy that's going to kill you isn't going to say this.
Correct.
Or shaking on meth and like, he's not going to say, I have a gun in my glove compartment.
And like, you're obviously not going to kill me. So if you say nothing at all, I know nothing at all. And we go on never knowing.
It doesn't pull up our stuff. I got called out.
It'll tell me you have a concealed.
I got called out once on it.
Okay.
I see you have a permit. So are you carrying? I'm like, I am, but that's my business.
Yeah,
it's
no.
not. My hands are on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to interact with this.
Yeah, people usually.
I also had me unrack it right in front of him, and that's I don't know.
Why would he do that? That's a horrendous.
I'll tell you off
that's a
air
horrendous
what
idea.
happened, but
Okay.
he asked me to pull the firearm out of where it was and clean it, pull the clips, lay it out, and we're good. And I'm like,
no, there's no way in hell.
That's a little weird.
There's no way in hell I'd be like, hey, sir, grab your gun and pull it out. No, we're not going to go that
he
direction.
stood back. It was the whole thing. He just wanted to see it on the dash, laid out, and keep it there.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't take them from people because my job isn't to disarm people in that situation, So, yeah, I mean,
I know that's a big one.
it's appreciated. I like it when people mention it because, like I says, to me, that brings my level down because I'm like, cool, this guy's admitting it. That means he's playing by the rules. And, I mean, that's a good sign to me that I'm dealing with somebody that's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that I've stopped hundreds of cars where they had a gun and never said anything to me and I never knew and they never shot at me and they went on their way and
because you'll get the guy with 200 pounds of cocaine in his trunk,
right?
That's quiet, or you're gonna get the guy that's trying to get out of it,
right?
Ooh, you guys got to work with all that.
Yeah, dude, it's a mind game.
You can feel it.
Yeah, it's a lot of a mind game. It's a lot of manipulation. It's a lot of stuff that's borderline immoral, I think.
Absolutely.
I like catching the bad guy who a cop doesn't, but the ways you go about it, sometimes I feel good about. Yeah, I feel good about doing it this way. This is a fair way of doing it. Other times I'm like,
And every situation's so different, and so it's hard to build a thing for all of it.
right.
Yeah, it's a weird job, man. You guys are gnarly dudes.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
We thank you for everything. I do from my
you.
heart. Yeah, from my family. We love that. So
very good.
it's just
Appreciate
people.
it.
We love
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
There's good cops and bad cops.
Oh, yeah.
There's good tattooers and bad tattooers.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe some more of the other than the other. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I've been on Instagram. I've been watching like the Sucky Tattoos page
Sucky Tattoos page.
on Instagram. It's great.
I gotta check that out.
Oh, it's gold. Me and Jade laugh about it all the time.
Is it like the baby holding his dad's finger and it's a penis? Have you seen that one?
I don't
Little
know,
teeny baby hand holding his dad's hand.
but it looks like a wiener.
Oh, it's totally a wiener. But it didn't mean to be.
Yeah,
Yeah, this shit.
that's great. Yeah, that's the type of thing that's on
If you
there.
come here, you won't get that.
Yeah,
Unless you want that.
yeah.
Or if you screw up and you do it on your brother like I did. Anyway, long story. We'll talk about that afterward. In shading, you can find some weird things. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, whoops, sorry about that.
Yeah.
That wasn't intended.
We can fix that.
What else? You got anything else, bro? How long we go? Is that a big one?
3 hours and 21 minutes.
Shit, dog.
Dude, right there.
You got to get to the shop and get your coffee handled. Or wherever you were going.
The what?
You got to go do your thing after this.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
You said the shop.
Yeah, I got to go to the coffee shop and take care of business.
Go make a latte.
I will go.
Why don't you bring us lattes, bro?
Dude, I should have. I should have towed the goddamn thing here and just had it here.
Tow the whole fucking unit here.
Yeah.
Just park it in my driveway. I pull in the one day and there's cop cars in my driveway. It's just him.
It's just me. Yeah.
Not just.
They're like, fuck. What the
fucking with everybody? God, it's give me a heart attack.
Yeah, and I came upstairs in uniform too.
Oh, yeah. I remember it well. I was like, oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Just me.
I think we're good. I don't know. I didn't do shit. I don't know what's going on.
Yep.
There's call. Talk to her. Okay. Do you want to go home?
Yeah, I
You
think
got to
it's
go to the
about
shop.
time.
You got to go home, too.
Yeah, it's shop time.
That was dope. We need part 7.
Yes, dude, and I appreciate this. This was a lot of fun. I've been wanting to do this for a long time.
Absolutely, man.
So.
Let's fire yours back up.
Let's do it.
I'm
I
ready
got to
for
do a
that.
different one. I don't want to do that when we were done.
Yeah, you got better shit to talk about than that.
That's right. I do.
So we're not going to talk about that one. Did you shout out all your socials, all that stuff you want everybody to hear and see?
Yeah, High Gravity Adventures on YouTube. I've got a new TikTok that's One Wheel Obsession, and then Kaysville Coffee Company on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram.
And or just drive to Kaysville and go get one.
Or go to Kaysville and get one.
It's right there in the bike shop. You can't miss it.
Yep, drive through and a walk up, and we're better than any place in town.
Said with confidence.
I might be biased, but
You got to be.
I'm a hell of a
That's the
barista.
cutest kid I've ever seen, too.
Yeah.
What's
No,
the
right?
hours on
That's how it works.
on Saturday?
Saturdays we are 8 until 3.
I might have to pull up on it at 8.
It's dope.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we'll
That's
pull in
fun.
at 3 in the morning and have you go make us a latte.
Dude, anytime. Anytime you guys are there, and I come unlock the shop, make you a
I know
drink.
you would.
I'll do
Let's
it.
build this damn documentary, too.
Yes.
We're going to get on
Yes, absolutely. In fact,
that. We've been buzzing about this for a long time.
if you were to talk to my wife, she's probably sick of me talking about it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
You say when, I'm down.
All right.
And he can be around wherever we need.
Sweet.
Whatever we got to
Okay.
do for all of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Go do good stuff.
All right, man.
Everybody do good stuff. Don't lie to the police, but don't talk to them.
Yeah.
If you can
Just-
lawyer up, that's good advice.
Yep,
I believe in that with my heart.
Yep. Always be looking out for number one.
Absolutely.
You got to do it. And that's what I've seen in 10 years. You got to watch out for yourself. Don't get yourself in more trouble than you have to.
Gotcha.
Don't be a criminal. But if you find yourself in a bad situation, take care of yourself.
Either way, you're going to need some help.
You need
right
some
there.
help. Yep.
Have somebody that can represent that, right?
Yep, that's right.
Thanks for all your time, bro.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Go be a good cop. Dre, you
too.
be a good DJ. I'm going to be a good whatever.
Tattooist.
Tattooist.
Tattooer. Is it tattooer or tattoo?
Depends.
Okay.
That's a long thing right there.
That's a long thing. That's for another day.
That depends on what
Okay.
you're doing with it.
Well,
if I'm just doing what you tell me
Yeah.
or if I'm creating one.
Right.
Very
I gotcha. Well, I appreciate you guys and your shop and you, and couldn't thank you enough for the electrical you ran for me. So
We'll do it up. You're welcome, man. That was fun.
sweet.
Everybody, stay present. Stay creative. Stay curious. Most of all, stay confused. Love you all.